Alright guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
Hey, happy Tuesday everyone. Welcome back.
Welcome back guys to another episode of the Media Hijack, episode 101.
Oh yeah, 3 digits baby. We in there.
We made it, we're done, we can clock out.
Bye guys.
Alright guys, if you guys want to purchase some official Media Hijack t-shirts, head over to themediahijack.com.
There we go.
Also, if you guys want to visit our Reddit, be a part of the community, I have all the links for you guys down there. And then if you guys want to catch the replay for this video, head over to our YouTube page.
Do it.
Also, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. iTunes people, just do it. Just scroll down, give us that 5-star.
Do it. You know you want to.
If you're on YouTube, you can do that too. But if you're on YouTube, just go back to the iTunes and just give us that 5-star.
Oh yeah. Show some love.
Or 4 stars, or whatever you guys.
4 stars, whatever you got.
But don't do 1 though. We'll catch you guys.
Yeah. We'll feel a certain type of way about it.
Put you in a chlorine tank. Yeah, don't give us 1 star.
Don't do that. Just
don't give nobody 1 star. Like,
if you're gonna give it 1 star, just don't give a star at all. Just keep it moving.
1 star has to be like something.
You took something personal.
Really bad.
I think somebody took something personal with the 1 star.
Yeah, 1 star.
Maybe we pissed off somebody. It's like, you know what, motherfuckers? You know what?
Yeah, that's
you
like.
You know what?
Don't give anybody no 1 star because they're out here like trying to do the same shit. You know.
We all try.
We all want to be loved.
We all want to be. We
you
all
don't fucking try to go out there and try to stop their sunshine. Like 1 star. Like what the fuck? Don't do that to nobody because it does hurt people.
I do. Just keep it moving.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, I don't know what to say.
I'm sitting in the corner of the wall like, who did this? Who gave us 1 star? And I'm rocking back and forth and shit.
Who did this?
Doing a seance.
Trying to figure this shit out.
Got the mages in the back. They're about to cast a spell. What spell you want? Lock them up.
Get them.
Freeze that body.
Get them. 24
hours.
Teach them a lesson. Teach them a lesson.
Show them hell 1 time. All right.
Sorry, I had to get my shit back up.
All right, guys.
Ooh, excuse me.
We should do like an intro where we tell people what kind of podcast this is.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just don't know how to say it.
For any first-time listeners, if you like anything strange, weird, or far out there, this is the show for you. If you like normal stuff too, we talk about normal stuff, but normal stuff is boring. So we try to reach as far out there in the cosmos about weird shit.
There you go. That's perfect.
Go off the top of the dome.
Yeah, fucking.
Let's go. Good. Yes, this is the show for you if you like weird shit.
Yeah, we do like weird stuff, conspiracy. We do news like from other places in other countries.
Yeah.
We try to get all the little juicy stuff from other places.
The weird shit that probably went under the radar.
Yeah.
You know?
Stuff that you don't hear normally, like out here in the States.
I've noticed too, I feel like we're starting to hit a spiritual point with this show too. Like
I feel
a spirituality of there's something more past this shit.
Definitely.
I've thought about that on the 100th episode, which I wish I had brought it up, but how we started the first episode to where we are now, I was more of like a I believe what I see kind of guy. Fucking these 4 walls are real. I don't believe anything out there, to where I was like, man, you know what? I need to stop trying to down this hill that this is all we have. Like it's got to be something more out there. So yeah, I've changed a lot of 100
That's
episodes.
good, man.
Yes, I've opened them up. Little boop.
Yeah, I'm glad you're like opening up to like the possibilities of, hey, it could be possible that there is another reality that we just can't see, but it's all running in the same timeline or whatever. Like whatever you think.
Who can tell you that you're wrong? Nobody knows.
Whatever your imagination. If you think unicorns are real or whatever, fairies are real. Who knows? Why did they make these folklore about all this stuff, right?
Unless somebody saw something.
Dragons?
Hey.
Sasquatch?
Yeah.
I have a story about Sasquatch, but we'll get into it right when you tell your story.
All right.
But yeah, we'll get started on the main topic, which is
my notes. Okay.
The Bennington Triangle.
Yes, the Bennington Triangle. Okay.
What is that? I actually never looked it up.
I stumbled across. Okay, so I stumbled across this like weeks ago because on my YouTube, which I'm on YouTube a whole damn lot, on my things I can't really watch at the moment, I always save it to my watch later list. Like I'm gonna get back to it when I get a chance, because I'm here on YouTube trying to watch something else. But
Yeah.
This video I'm interested in. This one video I put on my watch later list I meant to talk about weeks and weeks ago was about people that slipped out of time and was never seen again. But there's all these different stories. But towards the end of the video, talk about the Malaysia flight and all this other stuff, which we've talked about before. But they was talking about this small town known as a Glastenbury in Vermont, which were throughout the year, what was it, like 1945 through 1950. Now, 5 people went missing in that time frame. Now, it's not so much about the numbers of how many people went missing. It's how they went missing is what's kind of like, hell, they can't find traces of anybody on anything on why. One in particular is very, like, bonkers. But as I kept doing more research about it after I watched the YouTube video of it, went down this rabbit hole, and there's a whole lot of other stuff that happened in that town that was weird throughout the time. But 1945 up to 1950 is the moment where, hey, man, people are, like, going missing in very weird ways, but it's people trying to figure out it was a serial killer at one point, all types of stuff. But
it's Vermont.
Yes, Vermont. If anybody knows anything about Vermont, there's a lot of mountains. It ain't really shit out there. But Bennington Triangle. Let me get into it right now.
Why did they call it the triangle though?
Because in the vicinity that's happening, of course, is within a triangle, and anybody that goes within it, obviously, just kind of like any other triangle.
It's like a Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah, like the Bermuda Triangle or the one in Alaska we talked about before. Or was it the one in Japan, the Dragon Triangle, I think they got out there, some wild shit where out in the ocean.
It seems like there's like a lot of spots like that all over around the world, where it's spots where it has like a more, the frequency is different in those areas like that. Mm-hmm. Like the vibration is different.
Yeah, something's like very off with the whole area.
Yeah, it seems like that place is like almost like it has like multiple dimensions within that same realm.
Yeah.
Like special places.
Hell
just like the Bermuda Triangle, like within the ocean and stuff. It's almost like it's two different places at one time.
Like a supernatural, like other stuff out. Because when I was looking up stuff for the Bennington Triangle, I kept seeing stuff about like wormholes or this is a spot where like reality is the weakest at type stuff. And I'm like,
where the veil is the most thin.
Yes, it's very thin, and people kind of just maybe fall through it, or some things enter into it, but it's like a specific spot. But yeah, let me get started with this. Do you have anything else to say before I get started? Or?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, so like the Bennington Triangle, right? So the thing about this place is that the place wasn't really built until like 1761 by this guy like named Benning Wentworth, some like rich dude. I think he was a governor at one time too. He like wound up like buying this area of like land, and naming the town like after him without ever like going to the town to see what the town looks like, because the town is like in a mountain area, and when the town was first built, they were trying to build like mines and stuff and whatnot, and it was like impossible for people to build houses because it was all mountain areas. All because the guy Bennington Wentworth, he never like surveyed the land. Like, hey, is this the land I want to make a town in? He's just like, hey, I'm gonna use my money buy a town, and then that's it. But he built it in a bad spot. But before that, since the 1800s, actually probably even earlier than that, Native Americans have like refused to set foot into that area, because they always talked about it as like they referred it to as like the what is it? Because like it's considered like a cursed land. The only time Native Americans would walk over there is to bury their dead. But other than that, they said like it's a cursed area because of the 4 winds. Basically, like the way the area is with this town, the wind, like they say sometimes the wind will blow in all 4 directions, not from left to right or east to west. It's like the wind is kind of like like the Native Americans believe like the winds are having like an internal struggle out there, and they're fighting for like either souls or something. But either way, it's like the winds are always moving around out there to the point where they say the weather changes like that. You go out there, it's raining and sun, and now it's cold, and because it's just all the winds is moving around in one location, and so that's why they consider like a cursed land for the most part.
So that's what like the Native Americans said.
That's Native Americans believe back then, or probably even today. Just like this is like their look.
They should have listened to them.
The wind is too powerful here.
Yeah,
it's coming from 4 directions. Which why is this happening? And they even talk about how the plants grow. The plants grow in a weird way. Like some plants grow straight up, right? Whatever, they lean left, maybe right. But this plants are leaning in all different types of directions because the wind is constantly like, even though they're growing, the wind is making them lean in certain directions. So plants are growing in like all kind of types of weird ways out there, all because of the 4 winds. And Yeah, so these planets go up at like really odd angles, and basically what the Native Americans believed that it was like all types of creatures running around out there, and they also believed like if you went to the top of this mountain, I don't know if you've ever been like hiking or whatever, but there's like, you know, you've been hiking, you see like stacks of rocks up top of each other. I think they call it like kerosene rocks or something like that or whatever, but they have something like that placed at the top of a mountain in that town. And they say if you go up there, the ground is going to open up and swallow you, and then people, I guess, some stuff I was looking up of where it was is that some people might like forget about you over time, like you never even existed, type weird stuff, like
whoa,
you got eaten up, boom, gone,
deleted like, you from the timeline.
It's like just like somebody pulled a plug like out the sim, like.
You remember that one guy, Billy Watts? What?
Who is Billy?
I couldn't even finish that sentence because I just forgot who he was.
Like I never had a son before. Like you just get forgotten about. But yeah, so like supposedly top of the mountain can open up, eat you, gone.
Man, anything like the Native Americans talk about, like with their folklore,
listen,
believe it.
Listen, they know the land better than anyone here.
Yeah, because they're like, almost like one of the last remaining people that still carries on the same story from the past, from their ancestors. Mm-hmm. Of course, they all believe that stuff. It's real, dude. Yeah. They can talk to the spirit just like how people do, like in India. Like, man, I got a crazy story about Jesus. Mm-hmm. Real quick. Because I have to do this story later, maybe in a future podcast. But Jesus and his wife, he was married. Mm-hmm. He was married to his wife before, maybe he was like 17, 18. You know where he went to try to get like enlightened, to get his spirit up?
Oh, he got married early. No, where did he go?
He went to Tibet.
Oh.
Studied with the monks and stuff to get like his... to tap in like his spiritual energy to where he can harness like the power of the universe. And that's when he became...
He's like, I'm hearing these voices way out there, like the connection.
I got my powers. Let's head back. Head back. We're about to turn water into wine.
The people need to know this.
Yeah.
And Roma's like, no, the hell they don't. Get them 2 4x4s out. Get them two plies of wood out.
He had to go to Tibet to wake all that shit up, dude. And then that shit woke up. It's like, hey, let's run this shit back. Let's go. It's about to wake these people up.
It's like the world wasn't ready then, though. I don't think we even are ready yet.
Even if he came back right now, we still wouldn't be ready for it.
Man, no, he'd be thrown in an insane asylum. They should make a movie about that.
Man,
Jesus comes back like, yo, I'm back, my people, and then the real world treats him like, you homeless motherfucker, get in there.
Dude, there is a show on Netflix. It's called The Messiah, where it's like the modern day Jesus. They made it, in modern day times, and people's like, man, this guy's acting like the Messiah. He gets a following, but then he does do weird stuff. And then if you think about it, even if now like somebody like that shows up and do all this weird stuff, it makes you think like, okay, like how serious would you take somebody like that came here? Because if you watch the series, it's pretty serious where they had to cancel the whole series. Oh shit, it's done? Because of that. No, they had like 2-3 series that's written out, but then they couldn't do it no more. So the whole shit got canned. I didn't even hear about this. What the hell? They didn't give it a chance. Just watch that one season and then you'll know why. Because it's too much. The religion people's like, no. We want Jesus to be what we want him to be, not what. No, but the idea of like the Messiah coming back like that and stuff. Oh, just being like his like the Jesus coming back. Because that shit was, that series. Man. I binged it like one day. I was like, this shit's crazy. If he came back right now, he'd be treated like a homeless person, I think. Yeah, just like how they did like the guy like in the series. Like they just laughed at it. They're like, nah. See, if I would do a show, I'd be like, you know what? Jesus goes through that, and then eventually, to spread the word, he creates a podcast. No. Jesus spreads the word in the podcast. It gets real. Yeah, there was like a part like in the series where he did get shot. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, but they're like, what the hell? It's like nothing happened to him. So like, he didn't get like. Yeah, this is when like the CIA got involved and they started like recovering all like footage from how he got shot. They're like, this is kind of strange. They didn't want to believe it, but they were wondering like why he started like getting a following and stuff. Man, it got to the point where the CIA was like, she was like, dude, this guy might be the real deal, because she had a talk with him like privately. She had a talk with him privately, right? And then he mentioned something about her having an issue with her having a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And she was like, nobody would know about this. Like, how would you know about this? You know? Then she started to believe, like, this guy might be the real deal. And then there was, like, another scene where before he met, like, the CIA, like, he was locked up, like, within, like, I don't know, in Israel, like, the cops, they locked him up, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're trying to ask him all these questions, and he just answered truthfully, you know. He just told them, like, yeah, like, I'm here to deliver a message. That's it. But they're asking him, he don't say he's Jesus. He's just saying, I'm here to deliver a message.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, hey, who are you? Why are these people following you? So then they left him overnight. Next thing you know, motherfucker disappears, right? Next episode, this dude is in America.
Oh, man. What the hell are you thinking?
Saves a girl from a tornado. And everybody's like, aren't you supposed to be locked up in, like, Israel or whatever country he was locked up in?
Oh, so he got...
And they're like, how... Then the CIA was like, how was he able to get on a flight and then go to America? So they try to track, like, the flights, you know, because they're trying to figure out who the hell is this guy. Like, did he catch a private plane? And they found out there was a private plane that jet from Israel to America.
Did he ride it?
They're trying to... I forgot the story, but
my god, that's a cliffhanger. I want to know.
Yeah, you guys should watch it.
I want to know.
It was so good.
Shit, did he? Is he Jesus? I believe he's Jesus, but what if Jesus ain't got powers like that? What if he needs a plane? Like real shit.
It's like he's a man. Even when Bob watched it, she was like, "Oh shit, I can't wait for season 2." Season 2 canned.
Man, what the hell? This is.
They said if we make it, we'll probably get killed.
This is what they don't want you to see, folks. This is it.
Yeah, just watch it. It's like a short series, like maybe
what's
like...
What's it called again? Jesus... Something? What's it called?
The Messiah?
The Messiah, okay.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Jesus. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
The Adventures of Jesus.
It's really good. Just watch it if you're a believer, non-believer, or whatever. Yeah. Just watch it. It is very interesting.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
Like, your take on what would happen if the Messiah did show up. And then they did it, like, if you watch it, like, damn, I think that's exactly how people will react. Like, you'll get, like, a lot of people that believe it, a lot of people that don't believe it. But then when a lot of weird stuff started happening, the people that didn't believe it, they start saying, I think this is it, man. I think this is happening now.
Jesus showed up at my door. I'm like, yo, I will call you immediately. I'm like, yo, he's like, yo, Jesus is sleeping on my couch tonight, man. I don't know what to do. Is this real? Man,
Jesus is in the other dimension just laughing at us. Like,
look at these
thinking
ants.
Like,
look at these ants.
They really think I'm going to show up at his house? No. I'm busy talking to Hitler.
Like, I gotta talk. I have a talk with him.
I'm busy right now.
We gotta talk.
We gotta help all these souls out. I gotta take a leak.
All right. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back.
Be right back, guys.
All right. So back with the Bennington Triangle. Bennington Triangle. I'm sorry. Okay. So going back off what I was saying before, Native Americans had stories about a Glastenbury Mountain area. Basically, just how it's a cursed area. 4 winds are controlling everything. It's like almost like it's struggling for the area. If people get going to it, they're gonna get lost or whatnot. So before all this, like that's what the Native Americans were saying before settlers came in and wanted to set up shop in the town, right? So that's when you had like Benning Wentworth. He shows up there. He's like, hey, I want to build a town with all my money, and he's like builds the town, but he never went into the town to look at it. He just like, hey, there's some land, I want to buy it, and the town was horrible because the living conditions were really bad because it was basically like a mining town, but the money that he put into like for this mining company to exist, it really couldn't work because of basically because like the minerals that they was digging for was finite. It was like going out real quick, and they're like, okay, we spent all this money to build this mining town, and we're coming up short. We just wasted a bunch of money on for stuff that either has never been there or somebody got there before us and cleared out these mines or whatever. But so yeah.
So was he building a town to do the mining, or was he building a town to be like a town?
No, I think he was building like a mining town. That's where I always came across. Like he was trying to get money, trying to get rich or whatever. And basically the towns that he built around it to form these mining towns, they're all ghost towns now. I had even looked up some stuff about the population of the area right now. The population of this area of Glastenbury, I think, or within that area, is like 8 now because everybody left. There's only like 8 people living there.
Yeah, you know that's a bad place. You're not supposed to live there.
Yeah, but people like, I think it's like a population of 8 there. Yeah, we just live here, but no one else.
They might not live there. Like their name probably say they live there, but they don't actually live there.
It's like we have residency, but
they just have their name on that area, so they can, maybe they're just supposed to maintain it.
Yeah, because almost all the lands are like well, not all the lands, but that area is like condemned for the most part. And
yeah, if there's sacred land, if the Native Americans say it's like sacred land, you don't go there. Don't go there.
Listen.
Don't be like, oh no, that's woo woo shit. Nope, I'm gonna build South Lake Mall here.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not.
Get out of here. All right, so that was back in like 1761, right, when Benning went started building all this stuff in this town. Well, these 2 towns he had built out there to be basically a mining town, but it wasn't until like the 1800s when like weird, strange shit started happening. People back then were like reports of like strange lights in the sky, sounds with no explanation, and odd odors on the mountain's colonial settlements. Says these reports combined with many strange disappearances have led speculations to like UFOs over time too, and wormholes and stuff. But back in the 1800s, they was getting like these weird.
That was that hot spot.
There's a hot spot
for the ETs and the Sasquatch and the unicorns. They be chilling there, you know.
Yes, and so sometime in the 1800s, and if I'm not mistaken, it was towards the end of the 1800s. There was like this stagecoach that was going down the road one day, right? Stagecoach guy controlling the stagecoach, and people are inside of it. And while they're going down the road, I think it was raining a lot, and then the road started getting flooded at one point, and the guy riding in the stagecoach had stopped, and he was like, "What the hell?" And he had saw like there's a big ass like footprint in the ground in the middle of the road.
Holy shit!
So he had stopped, and then I guess he was trying to talk to other people inside the stagecoach, and was like, "Hey, like you guys know, we gotta stop for a second because the flood up ahead of us is like flooded." But that's when, at the same time, when he noticed the road was flooded, that's when he saw the giant footprint. And then the people inside the stagecoach said all they heard was like a loud roar, and then something pressing like against the stagecoach, and the stagecoach actually flipped over.
Oh shit!
So, but nobody died or anything, but the stagecoach just flipped over, and everybody saw like the eyewitness accounts of people in the stagecoach said the only thing they saw was like what was it like they saw like eyes and like a loud roar, and it pushed it over, and then it ran off. And even the driver was like, "Yeah, I heard it too, but I couldn't really see it because it happened behind me because the stagecoach is behind me, so I couldn't see it. So I just heard what happened, and because he flipped over with the stagecoach, but he did hear the roar."
So they might have went to like an area where they're not supposed to go.
Yeah, across the Bigfoot territory or
and then
something.
Bigfoot was like, "Hey, somebody stop these guys!
Get out of here!
Who wants to do it? I do.
Me,
9 feet tall.
Get him, tiger."
I got this.
So nobody was harmed in that incident, right? But around the time of like 1943, this guy named Carl Henrik, he went missing doing like a hunting trip with like what was it? Oh yeah, 1943, right? So now, mind you, this is 2 years prior before when people started disappearing off the face of the earth, like in 1945 to 1950. That's when these people, I'm going to explain to everyone that's listening who was all that went missing, but in 1943, though, there was a guy named Carl Henrik. He was like was on a hunting trip, and he like went out like 10 miles out into the mountains of Glastenbury, and he just went missing. And they found his body 3 days later. And when they found his body had been like squeezed. Like,
oh shit!
Like not like, and I had to keep reading it over again and try to look up some other stuff, but just to make sure that did he mean crushed? Like was he crushed by a tree or a rock or something fell on him? But it's like no, like something grabbed him and like squeezed him to death and like crushed him. Like as far as like a bear hug from a Bigfoot or maybe just use his hands. But they found his body kind of like
straight up bear hug,
straight up bear
from
hug,
a Bigfoot. Because I mean,
give him a big hug.
How else would you explain this? Right? Somebody got squeezed to death by what? A machine?
And nobody. And there's like they put down on his reason for death that he was squeezed to death.
COVID-19.
But it was never early. They started off early with that one.
Put that on.
Get them numbers up.
COVID-19.
Get them numbers up. He had a heart attack. Get numbers. Oh no, I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, so they found his body. They put down like he got squeezed to death, and that's the end. They just let it go. What was it? That was okay. So, but another strange incident too. So we're gonna have to go back in time again because I missed this part. In 1892, there was a sawmill worker named Henry McDowell, who drunkenly bludgeoned his coworker to death with a rock after he said he heard voices in his head. He was committed to an asylum and he escaped, and they never found this dude. This is back in 1892, so he got out. Is he the Bigfoot? I don't know.
Man, I believe that shit, dude. When somebody say like something's inside your head and stuff, and they made you do weird shit, dude, that shit is real.
Something told
you won't believe until it actually happens to you.
When you hear the voice.
Yeah, when you hear it, you'd be like, "Oh shit, this is not my voice no more." How could it be too narrowed? Like in my head?
Independent thoughts going on. Like I'm not even thinking. I'm not thinking about making these thoughts happen. They're just.
I'm not saying like I went through that, but I believe that people do go through that. Like I wouldn't say, "Oh, you're a fucking liar." No, like I believe if somebody say that and I look at you, it looks like you're telling the truth. I believe you.
I'd be like,
gonna fucking call.
I want to listen to some more.
Strap me down. Well, I don't know.
Whatever you call for crazy
asylum, whatever.
Yeah, but that was in 1892. Henry McDowell, he escaped. He killed his co-worker randomly, smashed his head in, and then when he got him, he was like, "Yo, some voice in my head was telling me." They threw him in asylum.
Yeah, I believe that.
He escaped and they never found him. So, is he the Bigfoot running around?
No.
I don't know.
You can't lock Bigfoot up.
No. Bigfoot locks you up.
Yeah.
In a bear hug and squeezes you to death.
I got the stories of the origins of Bigfoot, but after you're done, though.
Okay. I was about to wrap up the whole Bigfoot thing. Actually, no, you can run with the Bigfoot stuff because I don't really have anything else to say about that. That was just like
okay.
There's like sightings to him about the Bigfoot's got some accusations in that area. He's got some bodies from what they say.
Man, you guys want to hear a story about the origins of Bigfoot?
Let's get it.
The real story of the origins of Bigfoot. This is a story from this lawyer guy, right? Lawyer for 30 years. He takes on an astral travel with his spirit guide. His spirit guide is giving him the connections to, to all these creatures that want to speak to him about what's going on, and they wanted him to write this book.
Okay.
Right. Lawyer guy, know nothing. Like this guy, just straight edge guy. He's a lawyer, but then he got introduced to his spirit guide, and now he's taking it serious because he knows it's real.
Yeah.
Because he's taking him on astral trips, where his body is laid down flat, and then he's able to travel like in the spirit world. So they were able to travel like to a place like out here, like in North America, where they were able to speak to one of the Bigfoot person that was out here, 9 foot tall. It was like a female Bigfoot. Her name was like Anna. Something like that. Almost forgot her name. I think it's Anna. But they were able to get in contact with her because they set an appointment because Albert, the homeless guy, said, "Hey, could you do like this interview like for this guy? Because he's trying to write a book to help everybody out." And then he started asking her questions like, "Hey, like where did you guys all came from?" So the story is that they all originated millions of years ago in the African continent.
What? Bigfoot from Africa?
Yeah. The origins of Bigfoot came from Africa, and the result was from like an experiment conducted by a human race of humanoids, extraterrestrial, that visit us frequently on this planet. And then their planet that the ETs came from was like center of the galaxy. They came down here and they started messing with like the DNAs of the people that's already here. So they artificially assimilated the Gigantopithecus.
Oh shit!
I don't know if I said it correctly, but it's one of the species that was here that's not existing no more.
Bigfoot species, like Homo sapiens and what the hell?
Yeah, it was like way before that. So what they did was they took that gene and then they used their own sperm to create like this tall humanoid creature with a large brain. They're super tall and they have like enhanced sensory perception.
Damn.
So it all created like millions of years ago in Africa.
They're still here.
And we all coexist together. The difference is like with them, the Bigfoot, they never came up with the language. Like the way they communicate is like through telepathy.
Okay.
which is like a more like advanced way of like talking.
Yeah.
So like they said that
is.
if they were ever to be captured by like a human, they would be treated like a subject, like an animal,
Oh hell
a
yeah,
wild animal.
Man,
even though
yeah.
Bigfoot is like super intelligent. Like I remember like a while back I was saying like Bigfoot was like interdimensional because we can't catch them.
And he's popping in and out like boop, boop.
But they're not interdimensional. I was
So
wrong.
you think they hear? They hear here?
Yeah, they're here. Like they're solid here. The reason why they never got caught is because they can speak to not only like animals and stuff, like, but they can hear the ground. They know when you guys are about to be here. Yeah, they know when humans are like in the range of them to where they can just go in hiding. Because in the daylight, they go back to they live underground, and all their bases and stuff is all, like camouflage like so perfectly. The reason why they never wanted to coexist with us is because they know, like, our race, we're so fucking violent and stuff, dude. It's like our race is like, okay, we have the technology, we're better than you guys. So then the lawyer guy was asking Bigfoot, he was like, so like if you guys are smart, why you guys never want to do this? Why do you guys never want to make like technology to be better?
We see the evil in it.
Yeah, they said eons ago, they said that we wanted to be apart, like with the earth, the peaceful earth. We never wanted to be like like a culture that created something where it's gonna end up being something, like bad, like how humans, they create something, now everything's all greed. All greed, money, and they do more, they will kill for stuff like that. Like we never wanted to be a part of that. So they said like that's like one of the reasons why they never want to coexist with us. But they're here with us. They live underground. They never got caught. But he did say like some did get caught. Like maybe one of the footage, the old school footage of the Bigfoot, that was the real footage.
The OG, like,
yeah,
the blurry, man.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that footage, but it's like the most famous Bigfoot footage from a long time ago.
Hell yeah, that's like the most popular one.
That was like a real one. He said like some of us, they got caught, they got sloppy and shit, but most of the time they never get caught. Because they're always like 10 steps ahead.
Telepathy, man. They be like, yo, I got caught. Where you at? Look.
Yeah, because
they got guns. Don't come out.
Yeah, they can hear creatures. They can hear like the deer. They're like, oh.
That means they can probably talk to the plants and shit.
Yeah. It's like, they all communicate through telepathy and shit. And the crazy thing they said was like they never formed like a language. So they can't speak to us. They said like our brains is never developed enough to where they can speak to us through our heads, because we got technology doing all this stuff for us.
I don't know, it's made us lazy. Like, here's a phone, talk.
Yeah.
No, use your mind. Oh, excuse me.
Well, that's like the origins of like Bigfoot. And then he said they all spread it out throughout all the, they went to Europe, Asia, and then with the Bering Strait Bridge, where it connects like North America to like everything else.
Like
that's
Russia,
where they went to North America, because they were here for millions of years, just like us.
So just crossed the Bering Strait.
Yeah, but they were a product of like ETs. Like they were genetically modified, like with the ET sperm, with the giant capiculus.
So we say like they are the missing link, or
no?
Or they're just like another byproduct.
They're like another experiment of like an ET, because they use the sperm of like a Bigfoot that's already here, something that's already like a big creature, and then they mix their ET sperm with it.
Now they got shit.
So like that giant capiculus is already extinct, but like the result like from the ETs, like that gene still live on, but it's not like an original gene on Earth. It's like a modified DNA.
Okay,
just like us, like we're a modified DNA.
It's been mixed up now. It ain't the OG.
Like you think like we're native to Earth? We'll all be black right now. That's real shit. If we're all native, there wouldn't be no light skinned people. And that's true. Not the way that's the real shit. And then people they can't swallow that. Like,
it's too much. It's
like,
too
get
much.
the fuck out of here. Like, the sun been out for how long? Why is there still light-skinned people?
This shit's hot.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is hot. It's going to be hot.
Hot topic. Yeah. I look at my skin like, hey, I'm kind of light.
Maybe.
How? But then my cousin's like, no, you're dark.
You're not light enough.
Yeah. But if you go way back then, dude, no light-skinned people.
Oh, what am I been looking for? Okay, this is my shit. All right, so.
But yeah, that's that.
Bigfoot origin story. There's like a small story I came across too. But so this town has been strange. And so the story I'm about to say right quick is after the people have gone missing. But I thought it was like kind of a funny story and strange at the same time. So there was this guy back in like 1967. I think they may have given him the nickname of the Wild Man of Glastenbury. But
Glastenbury.
Glastenbury. He does like within one of the towns, I think, or some shit, or the mountain range. He actually lived in a cave. He lived in a cave up in the mountains, right? But what the thing was, though, he didn't stay up in the caves forever. He would occasionally come down into the town wearing a trench coat, right? He walk into town wearing a trench coat. He would carry
1967.
1967, right? Guy that lives in the mountains, all right? He's off the grid. Occasionally, he would walk into the town just wearing a trench coat. He would like walk to a torn up trench coat. He would come into town wearing, right? But he would have a gun in his hand.
Damn.
He would walk into the town, and then he would open up his coat, and then like he's butt ass naked underneath. He would like swing his dick around.
Damn.
But he had the gun on him because when people tried to stop him, he'd be like, "Back the fuck up."
Nobody would do nothing.
He was just flinging his dick around, and he got the gun out, and then he's like, "Don't touch me," and then he would leave and go to the mountains again.
So they know he's crazy.
But they never knew who this man was. Maybe it was the guy, Henry McDowell, but damn, that's too far from 1892. But because he remember the guy from this.
I'm confused. Is it the same story?
No. This is like another story, like 1967, in the same town where a guy was living in the mountains. It has nothing to do with Henry McDowell.
It's the same town with a triangle, right?
Yeah, with the triangle, yeah.
Okay.
Just a weird incident happened in 1967 where some mysterious guy that lived up in the mountains, I don't think anybody knew who he was, but he would just come down into the town with a gun and trench coat, and then pull out open up his jacket, and then helicopter his dick around, and then he had a gun in his hand, like, you better not attack me. I want everybody to see this. And then he would like leave, and then he would be gone for like a minute, and then he would come back again and do it again. He was just terrorizing people, but he lived in a cave, so
that's probably his fantasy.
I don't know if he's from this universe. I don't know where he came from.
Man,
like,
it's
strange shit like that happened there.
Yeah, it's strange. And then it's not just that, but there's so much like strange, weird stuff that people do, and then you wonder, what the hell is their whole life plan for that?
Like, what is your... Yeah, because you kind of throwing away your life doing shit like this going forward.
Yeah.
So
either that,
what is your future?
Or you think that maybe it's a soulless body, and it's just a person that they need to, fill the space where it needs a person. NPC.
Yeah, there you go. We just need a body. We just need a shell. We don't need the body per se.
Yeah, because like when you're playing like Grand Theft Auto, right? You're just walking on the street, and then people just doing wild shit.
Dude, like they say the funniest shit. Like San Andreas had like my favorite one. It's like if you walk down the street long enough, it's always a black guy too. If you walk past a black guy, like you hear him complain about, man, that SA put dust in my weed. It's like, oh, he got ripped off by some Mexican dude. All right, that's always like one of the funniest lines to me. Like, man.
Just some random shit, dude. Even if you walk like down in Atlanta, you hear some random stuff.
If you listen, if you just walk around and listen, you hear some weird shit.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, why would he say that? That was just so random.
I know that bitch gave me something. I'm like, what? Like, man, you might want to take your phone conversation somewhere else, bro. Like, I literally just heard everything.
Yeah, NPCs has to be real, man. There cannot be 8 billion real souls out here.
People on this autopilot NPCs.
Ain't no way. I think the only people who are real, like that where you encounter, is the people you actually talk to, or the people you encounter in real life. But the people that you would never talk to, they're not real.
I was watching something.
Is that crazy?
Hell yeah! I was watching something the other day when they were talking about simulation theory, and it was explaining that how, well, if there's NPCs, wouldn't they know that this shit ain't real? It's like, well, yeah, but NPCs have been here for so long that they can't differentiate what's real and what's not. Like,
right.
They think they're a real boy, like a Pinocchio effect,
like us.
But in reality, they're just NPCs. They don't.
We're not aware.
Might be NPCs.
We're not aware yet. You know that we're connected to a system. I'm like, we're not connected to a system, but I think we're in a system. If that make any sense.
A controlled system, I guess. Or?
Yeah, controlled by few, but still everybody has like free will, but it's still like a place that's being controlled. You know?
Yeah. There's laws to this.
Yeah, there's
reality,
laws.
I guess. I don't know what you want to call it.
Everybody plays their role and stuff. Everybody's living their life. They play, you know, with the cards. Their hand is like, they got 7 deuces and shit in poker. Like, oh, fuck. I came to life with this kind of hand.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, but I was listening to how the spirit world is, how souls, they want to come back, right? But they want to play a role different. Like, let's say, for example, in a past life, they were wealthy. They lived in a castle, like Jasmine from Aladdin. You know, lived a wealthy life, comfortable life, and then just died like the ultimate princess. But then when they pass over, they said, hey, you know, I'm so used to living like the life like that. I want to experience what it's like to live on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't see the struggle.
So she reincarnates into like a life with a child that's born next to a trash can.
Jack me in. I'm ready.
Like, holy shit, this one might be too hard.
Oh no, I'm in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Because like before you come to this life, right?
Hard mode.
Yeah. You would speak to like your council members, and they would review your life plan with you. You know, because you plan your shit before you come here. So they review it. They're like, hey, you think this might be a little too hard for you? Like, you sure you want to take all this?
Man, I would have done easy, normal, hard. I want nightmare mode. Like,
I want that expert nightmare mode.
All right, here you go, man. You sure you want this?
Put me in, coach. Put him in, right? Straight up North Korea. Like, fuck. But the soul don't know that.
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
The kid don't know that. He was just like, how am I born in a place like this?
I'm in North Korea. I have to get the same haircut as him. What the hell?
They have no idea, like, this Disneyland, like, just 1,000 miles away in Florida.
Little do they know.
They just know that one little world. But that soul want to live hardcore life.
This is it. I wanted this. I want to take on the challenge.
Yeah.
Because the more you get more karma, the harder it gets. I don't know.
Because, like, we're thinking, like, you know, our human brain and stuff, we think, like, oh, nobody wants to live a hard life. But he was saying, like, once you're in the spirit world, your thinking is completely different. It's like, none of this is like nothing. You know, it's not. It's like it really is like a game. Like, let me give you an example. Crazy. I might get fucking crucified for this, right? I might get crucified for this, but
I'll be accepting of it. Let's go.
Let's talk about Hitler real quick.
Jesus, I know he's going to go in this direction. Oh, my God.
We're going to start early.
Let's get it.
So Hitler, he killed a lot of people, right? A lot of people. His soul, like his how he did his life was completely bad. They said like his soul was so out of touch with him, like doing all this bad stuff. Like it's almost like, okay, they can't give him no more signs because he's not listening, because he's listening to a lot of like the outside world, like a lot of other commanders and stuff that helped him, you know, approve like everything like he was doing.
Yeah,
because it's not just Hitler doing everything. It's like the people, like his advisors, helping him do all this shit.
Yeah, he didn't run it by
putting
himself.
all this stuff in his head. So like he killed a lot of people. But when he died, right, like when you do a lot of bad shit like that, when he died, he went to this re-entry hospital zone. Like he went straight to, his soul went straight to like a hospital re-entry, to where he have to heal up there before he can review his life again. So Hitler, he went to the hospital, like in the spirit world, for example, and then they got healing, and then he went over to like Akashic Records, where he reviewed everything he did in his life. And he looked at everything. He's like, damn. He's like, damn.
Holy shit.
My bad, Earth.
Damn, man.
Yeah, he really fucked up. But then he was saying how a lot of it contribute with a lot of people who advise him to do that. to do all that. It wasn't all him. Yeah, I'm not trying to like take like less blame off of him.
This is just
but he know he did something completely bad and stuff. Yeah. Because there was like a scene where they were talking, and sitting right next to him, I'm talking about spirit world right now, sitting right next to him was Jesus. And they're both just like
buddies
chilling, talking about it. Because they say like, okay, everybody plans a life on earth, right? To see how you would react without nobody telling you nothing. Just to see how, okay, I'm going to put Chris down on earth. Let's see how he acts. But you already know yourself, but you want to see how your true self acts without nobody saying nothing.
You be like, I don't want to know what the controls are. I don't know what the buttons to press.
Bob in the chat, she says, is that a charcoal bag? Yeah, it is charcoal bag. I was getting rid of that dead squirrel smell.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't even heard of a charcoal bag before.
She says, where is all this written? It's in a book. I read like 4 books over the past 4 days, and I have so much knowledge in my head.
He has been on a roll.
Yeah, it's just a story of somebody who did an astral travel with a spirit guide, and he showed him everything. And okay, so back to Hitler, right? They were saying like, okay, even if you kill like millions and millions of people, right? You still don't get punished by that, because the source, God, the source, the creator, there's no rules. There's no like, okay, there's no wrong way to live like a life on earth, because you got to think about it as like a class. There's no wrong way to do it. You'll just have to, if you feel like your soul didn't do what it was supposed to do,
retake it.
When you die, you go back, you review what the hell you did from 1940 to 1995. You're like, okay, my shit was whack. I got to come back.
What did I do?
I got to be born in like 2012, become like a TikTok millennial and shit. But, you know, because the whole idea is like school is like an earth where souls come to advance their souls.
This is soul school.
Right. So he was saying like, you know, even murderers and stuff, people that kill a lot of people doing genocides. The metaphor he did, it made a lot of sense to me. Like, think about this, right? An actor in a play. You're an actor in a play, right? And then your character killed a person in the play. The play is over. Does that actor get in trouble for killing a person in the play?
Is the person dead?
In the play, yes.
Well, within the play, yeah, but within the confines of the real world, no, not really.
With the overall picture, that person wouldn't be convicted of a crime.
Yeah. It was just all, he played a role.
Yeah, because
he played a role.
On this earth, we're playing like, we're on a stage right now. This is what we directed. I'm not saying like, you guys should, like, even if this is completely real, don't go out and do wild, crazy shit. Real. Because it does. It's still.
Like, we don't want that.
That still happens. Like,
yes.
Don't go out and do some wild shit.
Don't push reality to the limit. Like, you know what? If this ain't real.
That's like not the idea of it. No. But you're saying if you did do that, when you pass over, you won't get punished for it. It's not like, you're going to jail in the afterlife. No, you don't.
That's scary.
You review what you did, like, that soul got lit.
This is scary. I've heard of that before too, where some people believe that what you do here don't matter when you leave, and that's why some people may just and then they got some people like, even if I do have to pay the consequences for my actions here, I don't care. Yeah. So you got some people that don't care.
Well, there's like stuff that happens, like the people, you know, when they have near-death experience, when they actually see like hell burning,
they come back like, oh my God.
It's like, I literally saw hell. Like, yeah, you did, but it's an illusion of hell. But it's just your spirit guy trying to scare you to get you back on your path so you don't do dumb shit.
You fucked up.
Yeah, they're like, let's scare this motherfucker. But hell doesn't exist like that. It's not this crazy fire, everybody get tortured. No, it doesn't. Like, but if they needed you to get on the path and they need to scare you that much to where you have to see hell, or they have to make up this shit to scare the fuck out of you so you can get on your path and you can stop fucking doing Hitler shit, they would do it.
I think hell's a man-made concept anyways, but that's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. That's just my opinion on that.
But yeah, you know, we're on the stage right now.
That's it. This is the play. I should have wore my shirt. I have another shirt that says main character.
You said that last week.
I know, and I wanted to bring it today, and I was like, but today I was like, you know, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I don't know. Damn it! If I knew we was gonna get, I didn't know we was gonna get this deep into this shit though. I didn't.
Yes.
I'll save it for the episode when we really get to knee deep in this shit. I'll wear it then.
I read too much stuff in that book, man. It was just too much stuff.
It sounds like it's a lot.
Too much stuff. Even like suicide people.
Oh God, yeah, we gotta say that for another episode. I don't think I'm ready for that.
Suicide people. It's people that actually completed the whole life path. Like, how did you do it? You know, where they don't need to come back.
Like, I'm out. All right, so back to Bennington.
Oh, we're still in Bennington?
You want to take a break right quick and then come back to Bennington? Give everybody like some breathing room.
Yeah.
I got to pee too right quick. Everybody, hold on. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
All right, let's get back to Bennington Triangle. All right, so I mentioned before that Bigfoot incident, all weird stuff going around in this town, all weird stuff. So now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this shit, of why I'm gaining infamy, because between the years of 1945 and 1950, 5 people went missing in the Bennington area. Now, it's not so much of the number of people that had other people kind of like
but how
they all disappeared. It's weird shit. People just disappeared off the face of Earth and have never been seen ever again. So like back in 1945, this guy named Mitty Rivers, right? Actually, it was in November 12th, 1945 to be
Mitty Rivers.
Yeah, that's his name, Mitty. Yeah.
Whoa.
When I first read it, I was like, oh, that's a chick. She's probably hot. And I was like, oh, him, Mitty Rivers. He's a 74-year-old man. He disappeared while he was like a guide for like a group of within a group of 4 hunters. He was like some kind of guide, whatever. And while he was taking them up in the mountains, I guess he's like, hey guys, 74-year-old man. He knows the mountains. I was assuming if you're 74 years old and you're a guide for people, you know the area very well. And so he was like a guide for like a group that consisted of like just 4 hunters. When they went to the mountains, he was leading them up there like, hey, come on guys, follow me. And I guess he went further ahead than them, and they never saw him ever again.
Damn.
The group was like, we don't know where he went.
So they never found his body?
They found when they did they combed the area. Like the cops came out there, and people that wanted to help find him, they went out there, they combed the area, and the only thing they found was like a rifle cartridge that he had that matched his gun that he had on him.
So he got abducted.
But they can't. Yeah, they never found anything. They never found anything ever again about this man. This man just like,
he might be on another planet right now.
Help me!
Laying track.
It's the same age too, or another dimension. He's still the same age. He's still
but
74.
I'm too old. Like, nope, not on this planet.
You were 74. Now you're about, I don't know, pushing 140 now.
You're 15 here, and you have to work.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the speculation was that Rivers had leaned over and the cartridge had dropped out of his pocket and into the water, because when they was going through the area, they found like the magazine cartridge of his gun laying next to a river, and it was like, well, he must have leaned over and it fell out, but that's all they got as far as investigating. They don't know where he went. He's never been found.
Damn.
He will probably never be found. A lot of people were saying that, well, some people were speculating like, oh, okay, maybe he got lost, but he's a 74-year-old guide. So a lot of people in the town were saying, man, look, this dude been doing this for a long time. He's no way in hell he got lost. There's no way. But
yeah, that's weird. They
never found him, though. So that was the end of his story. But that was in 1945. After that was Paula Weldon back in 1946. She was like this 18-year-old like college girl. It was like in December 1st, 1946. She actually went out for a walk one day, and I heard 2 different stories. Some people said that she wasn't wearing a jacket. Eyewitness accounts said that she was wearing a red jacket. Either way, though, the people that said that she wasn't wearing a jacket, they thought it was strange because it was December 1st in 1946. Well, it was December 1st in Vermont. Bunch of mountains, gonna be cold as shit. So I think they said the high of that day was 50 degrees, but the evening it was gonna drop down to 9 degrees. So even at 50 degrees, most people will wear like maybe a thin jacket, maybe or something,
a bubble jacket,
something. And she wasn't wearing anything, from what eyewitnesses were saying. What had happened was that she was on a trail. The last people that saw her were like this elderly couple. They was walking on the trail, and I guess later on when the cops were asking people questions who was in the area when she went missing, this elderly couple were like, yeah, we saw her on the trail. She wasn't wearing a jacket. and she was walking ahead of us, but based off the description that the authorities gave out. Like, she was walking ahead of us, and when the trail went around the bend, she was ahead of us. She went around the bend of the trail, and then when we went around the trail bend, she wasn't there anymore, and they were the last people that ever saw her.
So she got abducted too.
So she was gone.
Damn.
They did like a $5,000 reward. Where the FBI was like, "Hey, $5,000 reward. Let's find her." And then they all these damn people came out looking for her, and they never found her at all. Ever. They never ever found her.
She became a lab product
inside of the earth or something. I don't know. So that was it for her. So that was back in 1946. 18-year-old went missing. And then
that's kind of young for like a UFO, like an alien to take you.
Yes, that is. Actually, no. There's somebody even younger on this.
What, 5?
She's around that age that goes missing. So she's one of the younger ones, but ain't the youngest one. So
that's normal too.
Anybody can get it, I guess.
Yeah, it's all in the name of science.
We gotta study this.
Even with the aliens,
it's still science.
So like, let's see how these humans are developing here on Earth. And then they get like the top specimens where the genes, everything's all lined up. Just no crackhead gene or nothing.
Nothing. No, nothing.
Clean. They're like, okay, this
is the perfect specimen.
Let's dissect this.
Also too, after she went missing, there was rumors going around saying that she actually had left Vermont and then moved to Canada with a boyfriend, which actually turned out not to be true. So I guess some people was like spreading rumors like, man, she's not missing. She actually still here.
This is like a Gabby Pepetito
type of shit type thing, you know? I thought of that too when I was like, I'm getting some bad vibes about it.
So the boyfriend killed her. The boyfriend killed her, guys.
If this was a normal show, I would be like, the boyfriend did it.
Yeah.
But we ain't about that shit. She gone.
Boyfriend did it, guys.
She's walking on Mars right now.
Lay that ass out.
So that was Betty
Ice cold in Vermont somewhere. Where is Vermont? That's East Coast?
Vermont? No, yeah, East Coast. Up north.
North.
It's like near like West Virginia. It's like that really poor area. It's like one of the poorest areas in the nation.
West Virginia. There's a South Virginia?
No, West Virginia. It's West Virginia, but then it's
just called West Virginia?
It's West Virginia. That place poor as shit though too. That place is running the fuck down.
I never understood why there's North and South Carolina.
No, it's like North and South Dakota. I'm like, why? It's make to one big ass thing. Like,
right. You guys fighting?
Mm-hmm.
You guys got beef?
What's going on here? You want to?
Is this like North South Korea type shit?
You want to talk this out, man? We can talk it out.
I say squash it. Connect that shit together. Just be Dakota.
Let's move past.
Just be Carolina.
Become one.
The hell is wrong with them?
Damn, y'all still beefing?
It's like North South Georgia. No, it's just Georgia. Stop.
It's Georgia, man.
Stop fighting.
We're all one. Except for Atlanta and Georgia. Atlanta and Georgia are two different things. It's two different planets, but North and South, no, it's all the same. So yeah, that was Paula Weldon back in 1946. And then so after that, they had in the year of 1948, you had Betty Frazier. Betty Frazier, she was 26 years old. She went missing May 5th, 1948. Her husband basically wound up saying that I think they got to an argument or something like that, and it was at a bar, and she went walking out the bar like barefoot, walking down the street after the argument. Walking down the street, and
that sounds normal. That sounds like it happens today.
Out of all this though, this is like the most normal thing because if I'm not I think she's the only person whose body they found. No, wait, no, they never found her either. Okay, so she's walking down the street, and then neighbors saw like she looked like she was in a trance. Which, when I was reading the eyewitness accounts of how people saw her walking down the street and walking out to wherever she was going to, it was like seemed like she was in a trance, but she just walked out of the bar, so obviously she's drunk. It says after she walked out and disappeared, after a patient claimed that he had given her a ride home after close time. So she was walking down the street and somebody gave her a ride home. And then, however, a later recreation of the route driven disproved this theory that she was picked up because they try to put it on the guy. Saying like, you picked up and murdered her. He's like, yeah, I picked her up, but it wasn't even like that serious or whatever. She actually refused to get in the car with me, and then so I left her. And they want to find out that, yeah, he was telling the truth. He had an alibi where he was at that night based off the time of where she was seen, that she had never gotten to the car. The last sighting of her was by a neighbor who were reported seeing her walking unsteadily along Highway 30 in the general direction of Bennington. So she was walking towards the triangle. So if no more people get snatched up in Bennington Triangle, you drunk, you ain't gonna stand a damn chance.
Yeah, they'll scoop you up.
Yeah. They ain't going nowhere. This is like, it's
like, like, boop, got him.
There we go.
Oh, she trash? Get him.
It says like her body. Oh, so it says her body was discovered 1 month later and 17 miles away.
Oh, they were done with her.
Yeah, on a forest trail in West Dover. The case was closed as a death of. They classified her death as a misadventure. Like she just like wandered off and died.
I would think like back then in the 1940s they could make up anything.
They got no clue.
Dying.
They have no clue.
Yeah, because they don't. Who the hell is gonna dig up evidence? Is there any cameras, anything? Like, is there any like technology back then where they can actually, trace DNA or whatever, fingerprints?
Yeah.
They could have made up anything. That's why, like, back then, the Wild West, when you did a crime and you actually ran away, nobody saw you.
No cameras.
Guess what? Nobody saw you because you ran that fast.
Oh, shit. If you really good criminal, you probably gonna, y'all tell anybody, I'm gonna kill you. Any eyewitnesses, I'm gonna murder you.
That would be like nowadays.
Yeah. Well, nowadays,
but before, you just gotta run fast.
Nowadays, if you have this on you, they're gonna catch you. You can't even commit a crime with a phone on you. I watch a lot of murder shows. And people think like, yeah, I'm going to turn off my phone and then go commit a crime and then turn it back on. What they're going to see is like, well, why'd you have your phone off when it's showing throughout your history you never turn your phone off?
Yeah.
Like, this is a beacon.
I thought about this too, right? That's why I have like, Amazon A word. Mm. That's why I have her like in every room. So in case anybody want to put some shit on me, I'd be like, hey, pull up.
And it works. It's helped.
I'd be like, hey, where was I at 9:34 p.m.?
They've used that shit in court cases.
I like Miss A word. She's like, you were at home
at this time
watching a cooking channel.
You even changed the temperature.
I was like, no, I wasn't. I was watching porn. You fucking liar.
I'm a man. I was doing man things.
I was watching a bear kill another bear.
Stupid.
Stop playing.
Stupid bitch. Lying on me.
Lying in court.
I love boobies.
But yeah, I always thought about that as like I could always use her as an alibi. No, and then I have the camera outside where it shows that I came home and I never left.
That's just been used in the court case before when somebody got murdered. It was like, yo, we're gonna run through Alexa because it.
Don't listen to her.
We could do this.
She might give you like a fucking tell you everybody that died yesterday.
But they wound up finding like it picked up the recording of someone who was getting murdered. Mm-hmm. They got used in the trial.
Yeah. It helps.
It helps.
So keep your phone on you. If you're not doing no crime, keep your phone on you so nobody can pin nothing on you.
Oh yeah, there's an alibi.
It can help you like hey, you were here. Like no, I was here. But then I have like Amazon beep beep. She can confirm I was at home. I never went outside.
All right, so that was it for Betty Frazier. So 26-year-old was drunk, was walking towards Bennington area, and then she went missing. Like I said, they found her body like 1 month. 1 month later and 17 miles away from a trail. So after that, so this is the strange story. This is the strange story that led me down this rabbit hole and why I picked this topic in the first place. This happened in 1949 with a guy named James Tedford. James Tedford was like this veteran.
Yeah.
He used to be in the military. I think he fought like I'm assuming World War II. That's like the closest thing after that. But he's a veteran, and he lived like in a veteran housing area. I'm assuming he had like...
Is it cheaper?
I'm assuming he had like PTSD or some kind of issues or whatever. Okay. Maybe something like that. But so this happened like on... Oh, sorry. What happened? What happened? So December 1st, 1949. So this is like...
So when did World War II ended?
Was it 45 or some shit?
Around 45, right?
Some shit, maybe 45.
Yeah.
44, 45, something like that. Maybe it continued
Correct us, chat. I dare you. Go ahead.
Look it up, please.
No, I want you guys to
challenge me. But I think it might be 1945. I could be wrong. Yeah. No, so but after World War II, and that's why I assume he was a World War II veteran. So back in December 1st, 1949, and so this is like maybe... So this is 3 years after the first person went missing, right? But James Tedford, he got like on a bus one day that was going through Bennington. He was living at this, I'm gonna say halfway house. That's a horrible name for it. It was like a veteran's house for like people. I'm assuming it's like I tried to look it up. It looks like a hard. I looked up the picture of what it looked like back in 1949, and even what it looks like now. it looks creepy as shit for like a veterans home. They need to do something with the structure of it. It looks horrifying. It looks like an insane asylum. But he was going on a trip, I think, to go see family, and he wound up getting on the bus and was going to Bennington, and he just went missing on the bus. Like they like when people started looking for him, and I guess when the authorities started trying to like, well, what's his last location? Okay, he was on the bus, and they got on the bus and they found all his luggage, and they found his ID, and some kind of like they call it like a.
But he wasn't on the bus.
But he was never on the bus, and all the eyewitnesses on the bus said that he never got off the bus. He was on there the whole time. The driver said he never got off.
Whoa.
When they got to like when the bus was going through his trail or his route, and got to the very end of his very last route of his like the last stop of his route, he was gone by then. He was like, but the bus driver was like, yo, he never got off. All the eyewitnesses on the bus was like, we saw him on there, but he never got off at one point at any time. But the man is just gone. But he was on the bus. Just
what?
That was the one. That's when the rabbit hole started for me. I was like, I gotta see what else happened. It says, it's according to witnesses, Tedford got on the bus and was still on the bus at the last stop before arriving in Bennington. Somewhere between the last stop and Bennington, Tedford had vanished. His belongings was still in a luggage rack, and an open bus timetable was on his vacant seat, and they never found him. He's on the bus.
He was just gone.
Everybody was like, yeah, he's there. Bus driver was like, he never got off. Because I'm assuming if you're a bus driver, you're keeping up who's getting on, who's getting off. You probably get really good with faces. And
yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, and I'm sure he would
like
know,
if everybody was telling a story, like,
and they said he was there.
Honestly, there's no way to get off a bus like that without being noticed.
Yes, back then.
So if everybody told the truth and then that actually did happen, that is a pretty wild story.
Yeah. That's what started all this. This story with James Tedford. I was like, who the hell?
Almost like the same, like if you were on a plane, right? And then, everybody was accounted for, like on the plane, that everybody was on the plane. They're booked there. And then when you get off the plane, one person was missing. But you got proof that they bought the plane ticket. They bought a plane ticket. What, they gonna jump out of the sky? How? Like, see, that stuff would freak people out. Like, all right.
I'm sitting right next to him.
200 people, but only 199 came out.
It'd be even scary if you was sitting next to him and you saw the news like, that's the person I was on the plane next to. How'd they go missing? Like, I was right there.
Yeah. So, stuff like that is,
yes.
If that happens, that is hard to explain.
Yes, and I think that's what happened with the authorities. They were like, all right, he gone. And then that was that for his story. His story was very short-lived, but yeah, he was just on the bus and went missing in plain sight. And so the next person that went missing after that was in 1950. It was like, these are like the last two, and I'll be doing all these missing folks within the town. But one is Paul Jepson, right? He is the fourth person to go vanish, and he was 8 years old. Because I watch a lot of murder shows, my first knee-jerk reaction when I read this story was like, the mom did it. Because it was kind of a funny, weird story. Until I kept reading more into the story, and I was like, oh, yeah, he gone. Like, he gone. But so the story starts off of where Paul Jepson and his mother, he's 8 years old. He was in a pickup truck with her. I think she owned, or that family owned, some type of farmland or whatever. But they say in the story that she went to go feed some pigs, and she briefly left. That's what one story says. I actually like dug some more into this and says that she was actually gone for an hour, which leaving a kid unattended for an hour is not briefly to me. But she was gone for an hour to go feed the pigs.
Parents in the chat know about that.
And she went to go feed the pigs, and then when she came back, she said he was gone. The crime murder man show I watch, like, because I watch so much murder shit, I was like, she probably killed him and just fed him to the pigs, which is horrible, but that's pretty like ground level of the type of shit crazy people will do to murder people, like to feed it to pigs. Pigs eat everything and anything. If you know anything about pigs,
but why would she do that though?
Who knows? Life insurance policy, like it's who knows? Greed. Nobody knows. But that was my first reaction with the story. Like, she probably killed her son, fed to the pigs, opened and shut Case Johnson, and then I kept reading a story about how when the cops showed up, they brought like this bloodhound around. Bloodhound started sniffing the area, and the bloodhound took him out the area. They followed the bloodhound, and it went all the way back to the original site where what was it? Paula Weldon, the 18-year-old girl that was on the trail. The dogs took them all the way back over there, to where the last the scent of the kid was like on that same area.
Yeah.
And then that was it. They never found the kid again. So the kid like left area and then went to where that girl was at or near it, and then went missing. Some people claim that maybe he got snatched up on the way over there on the ride, like by somebody snatched him up. Possibility. I went with like, hey, the mom killed him and tried to fed him to pigs, but in reality, like the dogs, like the dog sniffed his scent. You know, here, smell his hat. Let's follow the trail. Dogs took him right to where that other girl went missing, and the mother was never charged. They never found a body, no murder weapon, no nothing. So I was like, hey, yo, kid, this is where got snatched up. But like I said, at first I thought it was gonna be like the mom or some regular weird, like some regular / weird shit that humans do to each other. But then when the dogs took him off the trail and went to where he was last at, where they sensed, like the dog sensed him at, that's when I was like, oh yeah, he possibly supernatural maybe.
Yeah, that's scary. Like, especially like if you're like a parent and then your kid goes missing, but then like all the evidence points back to you, but you know for sure you did not kill your own child.
I'm like, yo, please believe me, I didn't do it.
Everything is pointed at you.
Because you the last person with it.
Wouldn't that be so fucking scary?
Man, hell yeah. Because you were the last person with the kid.
Yeah, that's why when you wish, like, I wish there was like cameras everywhere with this all everything. Hey. And then people get that in their head, like, all right, government, you guys can see everything.
We're gonna give up all our freedoms.
Every little single detail, we're gonna give it all up just to protect ourselves. But you know, same time, like,
we want you to police us.
Yeah.
Hey. But yeah, so that's the youngest person that went missing was Paul Jepson, and the last one in 1950 was Frida Langer.
These crazy names, last names.
It's the 50s, man. Well, the 40s and 50s.
Here's my thing. I always thought about this all the time. Who gets to make up the last name?
The father. I guess you take a lot of times.
Yeah, but where did the father get the last name from?
I don't know. Whether
he made it up. Like he was like the first person in the clan.
No, a lot of times it comes from heritage.
Empty slot. I get to make up the last name. I always wondered about that. Who gets to make up the last name?
I think a lot of times it comes from the motherland, but I've always figured it was like the woman gets married to the man, and the woman takes on the last name of the man. A lot of times I've seen it like hyphenated. Like, hey,
yeah.
Last name and.
But how does it come about? Like, who gets to decide in the beginning?
Man. A man made this choice.
So the first man.
Hey, you gonna marry me? You taking my name? Okay.
It's like, all right, my name is Chris. Oh, no last name. You get to pick, Sir Chris. All right, Jones.
I'm kind of like a Jones.
Let's go with that.
And you're gonna take it.
That's what I was always thinking.
And you're gonna take it.
Who gets to pick all these last names? Because then, you know, you tell your father. Your father's like, oh yeah, my father picked it. Oh, then you tell that father how he get the last name. He said, oh yeah, I picked it. Yeah. And then it goes back. And then I was like, okay, who was in the beginning that get to pick the real last name?
Actually, I don't know how the last name of Jones started in my family or my mother's maiden name Campbell started in the family. But what I did learn a long time ago, because I had like this cousin who's like Harvard graduate. He's really big in like genetics and family history and stuff. He actually tracked down like our family history. Our original last name was like Carter because that was the family that owned us during slavery. Sometime after slavery, last names changed around, but our original last name was like, we took on the last name of like a slave master, dude.
So it changed after that.
And I guess it sometimes changed like, hey, we're free. Fuck this last name Carter. We got, we were like, we're gonna rebrand. I'm assuming with Jones, and my mother's last name is maiden name was Campbell.
So there was somebody in the mix where they're
fuck
like,
this shit.
We're gonna change this from Carter.
Man, I don't like this. I'm not really feeling this oppressor's last name. Yeah. I'm not feeling this.
Bob says the man made the name up. She's like, yeah, that too.
Yeah, of course it was a man.
Yeah, I was thinking even like with Asian people, you know, like if you look at Vietnamese people.
Yeah, how's that go down?
A lot of them have the same last name, the Nguyen. Either they pronounce it like Win or what's the other?
Nguyen.
Nguyen.
Yeah, Nguyen. It looks like it's pronounced Nguyen, but it's Win.
Yeah, and they all have that same last name. But then if you really look it up, it's like some type of dynasty.
You're just trying to claim, or I was gonna say claim like they like.
They all took the same last name as like some dynasty from back then.
That makes sense.
Which is weird. It don't make sense.
The wind set, yo.
Like,
whoop, whoop.
You guys
like,
not all came from that same shit.
No, they couldn't have, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, no way.
So they just picking sets.
Because we all came from God.
No,
I'm not trying to make it a joke, but we all yeah, we're all a piece of God, you know.
We all people first. We like any division that exists on this planet, we created.
Yeah, like for you non-believers,
yeah,
it don't matter what religion you are. Like there is something higher, and like prove it. Hey, let's make an appointment.
A whole new world.
Change the whole world and like holy shit.
It's all true.
Like just give him ayahuasca straight up.
Straight up.
Straight up send him to like South Brazil or whatever. South whatever America.
South Florida.
Give him the ayahuasca trip. I wouldn't even take that.
Man, no, it's too much.
It's too strong. Because when I took acid for the first time, it was so strong I was scared to do it again. It was like that.
It's too much.
I saw so much real shit. I was like, I'm scared to see all that again. You know, and then the person that gave me, you know, the acid, you know, they're like, hey, you want to do it again? I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't want to do it again.
How do you do this on the reg?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Why would I want to see that again? That's already changed my whole life already. It's like I felt like somebody like striking an axe on me. I'm like, stop. Get help. You know, it's like that. It's like, hey, like chill the fuck out. You saw the truth. Stop. Slow down. And then when they said, hey, you want to do it again? I'm like, no, I don't want to do it again. It's not one of those drugs where you're fiending for that itch to do it again. Yeah. It's not like that. It's like the drug, like, hey, here's your life. Boom, slap this whole book in your face. Yeah.
Read it.
Did you like that? It hurt, but I understand now, you know? So and I don't need to repeat that again.
Now you're learning.
So, they said, hey, you want to do it again? I was like, no. So then they kept talking to me, to where it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'll do it. But I'll take a half trip, you know? I took a half dose.
A little bit.
Yeah, I took half the dose, and I didn't trip out. I was like, thank God I wasn't ready, you know? But, you get that peer pressure to do it.
Do it, bitch.
And then I was like, all right, I'll do it, but I'll just take half. Completely different. You take half, it's like, damn. Is that strong if you take two? Like, if you take a half the dose, you don't hit the trip, but you still feel... you feel high. You feel like, damn, everything sounds so cool. I was playing the guitar. I was like, I saw all the notes. I was like, what? Yeah.
I could feel it in my brain.
But, I never tripped out. Like, when I went full trip, like, blasted off at the speed of light.
I mean, that sounds cool, too, though. Like, just half of one.
Yeah, but I was like, nah,
fuck this.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm okay with the acid trip. It's a little too much for me.
Too intense.
But, like, it did open my mind up to where I was like, okay, if I can trip like that on acid, what can shrooms do? And then that open up the world of mushrooms.
Shrooms is like, you're holding somebody's, like, big brother hand. Like,
shrooms is like...
It's more.
You can get on the ride,
like,
and you can get off when you want. You have control. That's why I like it more.
Like a kid. It's more friendlier.
Yeah, it's like, if you want to stop, open your eyes.
Yeah, if you want to end, just like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people, they don't know. They take shrooms, but the whole time the eyes are open.
I can't escape. Like, just open your eyes, bro. Like,
they see like the walls or whatever. It starts looking weird, and if the ground looks higher,
close your eyes.
And like, oh shit, I'm tripping. Yeah, you're tripping.
That means you're ready though to close your eyes.
Yeah. It means you're ready to start the trip.
It's lift off.
But then people, they don't understand that they keep their eyes open. They start watching TV. They start listening to music.
Don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's when it starts to create. Your brain will start going weird directions.
Yeah, I was watching Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen the first time I ever took some, and I was laughing so hard. But I was like, am I really enjoying this? Mm-hmm. It's like, this is funny, but I'm not really experiencing what it is. So later on when I did it myself, I was like, this is the experience. This is shut the world off. Like,
literally.
I don't know
your brain
how,
is like shut off, and there's like a movie playing in your head.
I don't know how people go hiking on that shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go hike when after that. What?
Yeah. Bob said it's like the movie with Johnny Depp. She's talking about the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh shit, that movie's good. That's such a good movie.
They had like scene
it's unintentionally funny.
They talk about like adrenochrome, unintentionally, maybe.
I gotta watch again. I haven't seen something.
But they're talking about taking the blood of a child to get high and stuff.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like there's a lot of hidden
shit.
gems in there. Like where people's like, hey, what are they really talking about? You know, the people in Hollywood, the bad people, they really know real shit that's going on, like with Hollywood, the type of drugs they take.
Of course, Hollywood's a freak show. Hollywood's like a circus to me.
The back door, what you got to do and shit, and the drugs that the people take while they're on the movies, while they're doing their production.
Yeah,
a lot of dark shit, man.
Yeah, man. You need to watch that Johnny Depp trial. You're starting to see more and more.
That's crazy. That's like is a trial still ongoing?
Fuck yeah, it's one of the best trials I've watched in recent memory. I think everybody on the planet, like this whole trial shit should be like a day off because it shows how a relationship between two toxic people can derail everything. But that shit is messy as fuck. It is so messy. They getting other actors and getting pulled into the mix who ain't even involved in this marriage. Like, hey, is it true that you did?
Why is all it streamed online though?
Hey, look, the views are always 1 million and higher, like for every video about this trial.
So who gets the money? The court or what?
Oh no, I'm watching on Law and Order. It's like this Law and Order. It's called Law and Order YouTube channel, or whatever. I've been watching with like at least 100,000 people every day. Hey, what's up, man? You back? I don't know. What's gonna happen today?
Wow, man.
You gotta watch it. It's the most toxic shit you'll ever see in a relationship. It's worse than the Will and Jada shit. I shit you not.
Yeah, I can't look at stuff like that, man.
I use it as I watch it just because I see it as like a tool for me to learn the reality of how some things are, and I'm seeing with them is like, man, this is like, I feel like he's toxic on some level, but she's way more toxic than him. But it's like, man, you don't want to be in this or you don't want to even be friends with somebody who's in a toxic relationship like this because, man, there were some names I was dropping in the court. I was like, just because he did coke with you, you got thrown under the bus? Like, come on, man, he's like coke. Why is his name involved in this? It was like a straight, like, I think it was Friday. They brought up Paul Bettany.
You gotta watch who you guys do coke with, man.
I judge people off the company they keep. I say this all the time. Like, look, if you and your wife are this toxic, I'm stepping away because, yeah, Paul Bettany, he got caught with a straight shot. I mean,
it's so hard to tell, like, with people because, you know, like, when you guys are real cool,
oh yeah,
you would never think, like, nobody would stab you in the back like that, you know?
You would never think, and then that happens.
You would never think, and then it happens. You're like, what the fuck did this shit come from, you know? I thought we made, like, a blood bond.
It's even worse when you kind of suspect it, and you kind of like, maybe I'm just being paranoid, and then it happens, you're like, motherfucker, like, I knew it. I saw this shit coming. I'm more mad at myself than the actual scenario.
Yeah.
Bob says,
hey, that's life, you know?
Bob says she has a split personality. Yes, she does. Her, I thought it was like her attorney, or no, her psychologist. What do we call him?
Psychiatrist,
yeah. She came out and said, like, yeah, she shows like signs of split personality disorder. So
I would think a lot of actors, period, they all have split personalities. There's no way they can play all these deranged roles and stuff.
I think everybody does cocaine in Hollywood.
You know, without being not normal, you know? They have, like, this personality issue to where they can actually get into the role of their character.
Yeah.
Because when they're playing their character, right, and then you're watching it, have no idea who this actor is, right? Let's say you're watching it as a virgin on a Virgin Island. You're watching a Hollywood movie. You don't know who Johnny Depp is, but you're watching him play a role as Edward Scissorhand. And you're like, what the fuck? This guy is... He's a wild-ass Edward Scissorhand character, and he looks weird, and he just looks like... You would think that that's his real character.
I love that movie, though.
Right? And then you see him playing a role in, like, the Las Vegas movie, the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like, what the fuck? That's Edward Scissorhands? Completely different character. Like, what the fuck? But he plays it so good to where, like...
He's a good actor.
To where, like, oh, he sold, like, the role. Like, he sold, like, his character. Like, where you believe
I'm sucked in. Like, I forgot. Yeah. Like, Johnny Depp is, like, one of them actors who's very big. Like very huge actor. He's, like, clearly, like, top tier. But he's so good at it that you forget it's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
He is this character. He's an S-class. Yes, S-class acting.
As an actor, to me, I think Johnny Depp is, like, the S-class where he can do, like, any role where you can believe, like, he is that character.
Yeah. My favorite movie he's ever done, and this goes on record, Edward Scissorhands. That movie, like,
I like that too.
It hits me in the heart. It's one of the very few movies that make me really sappy, but that is...
Yeah, that's a strong movie, like, man. He played it good, and he was young too. And
yeah, that was like shit. This was before he blew up.
And then Pirates of the Caribbean, like, he looked like a fucking drunk pirate guy, man. Like, he
don't give a fuck.
He killed that role.
Okay.
Good actor, man.
Oh yeah. I was asking somebody the other day, I'm like, has he ever won an Oscar? They was like, no, he's got some Golden Globes. I'm like, man, how?
Dude, Leonardo DiCaprio, good actor too.
Oh, he's amazing.
Killing it.
He's amazing.
He's like really good.
Love the guy. I love his movies. He's good in everything. I didn't really like him that much back when I was younger, especially in the 90s, because he was like a teen heartthrob, and I was just like, all these stupid girls, even girls I got crush on, loved this dude. I'm like, who the fuck cares about this?
But those stupid girls are smart now.
But now I'm like, he is kind of hot now. Like, I can see it. No, I think he's a hell of an actor. He's very good.
Yeah, he's good.
Very, very good actor.
He shows like a lot of his like skills, like in that one movie, Wolf on Wall Street. Was it?
Oh man, that's one of the funniest movies of all time.
Man, he's so good in there.
That movie's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let me knock out this very last person, and then I'll be done with this shit.
Yeah, because I got stories too.
I'm sorry. Frida Linger, 1950. She was the last person to go missing. She was 53 years old. She was out hiking one day with her cousin, and I guess she like walked too close off the side of like the whatever they was walking at. She slipped and fell into the stream. Right.
Yeah.
Got wet and everything. She's like, oh shit. 53 years old. Frida was like, you know what? She told her cousin like, hey, wait right here. I'm gonna walk back to the camp. Cause I guess her cousin and her family set up a camp that night in that forest, and then the next day they was going to go hiking. She was going off a hike. She slipped and fell into the river, and she's like, damn it, I'm wet. Hey, cuz, wait right here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna change my clothes. Went back to the campsite. When the cousin was waiting there for so long, he's like, man, what the hell she at? He went to the campsite. The people at the campsite was like, yeah, she never came back here. And that was it.
So she got abducted.
She was gone after that. And that's when they wound up having like it says over the next 2 weeks, 5 searches were conducted involving aircraft, helicopters, and up to 300 searchers. No trace of Langer was found during the search, and then her body was eventually found 3.5 miles from the camp. But the spot where they found her body, they had gone through that area a whole lot, and they never found her there. So someone or something that took her dropped her off after somebody, like after 300 people had searched the area. They like, oh man, we're like, what the hell? We're like, we went 300 bodies went to this area looking for her. Y'all didn't find her, and now she's here. So that's when the cause of death could never be determined because the distance of her remains was basically because it happened in October. So sorry. Like she went missing in October and they didn't find her body till May, so her body was like decomposed in a way where they couldn't even find what killed her. But so that was kind of it right there. How she went missing. A lot of stories, a lot of theories started coming out saying that hey, because it's an area with like 4 winds blowing in 4 different directions, there's rumors that people that go out there when they're by themselves or whatever, the wind can maybe like give them like vertigo. It disorient them to where they like walk off a trail or get lost, because it says it's easy to get lost out there, but it's a lot of times because like the weather's constantly changing, the way the plants are, because some people like use markers like plants as markers, but they grow in such a weird way it's very hard to identify like where the hell am I at. So that's another thing that a lot of people bring up, like the area will get you lost real quick.
Yeah, it's one of those spots where it's like where the veil is really thin. Mm-hmm. So like a lot of stuff like in our reality would make sense. Like in that area, a lot of stuff would malfunction. Like as far as like a compass or whatever.
My cell phone will work.
Yeah, and then a lot of weird stuff would go on there because it's almost like dual realities trying to take place of one place. That's why you get these winds trying to take over, like hey, our wind is blowing this way. But if you think about it, if it's different realities, right? Let's say the wind is blowing in a different reality, trying to go this way, like the wind blowing south. But in the real reality, the base reality,
it's blowing this
like,
way.
No, you motherfucker, this shit's blowing east. So maybe in that area, the veil is really thin to where different realities are trying to, it's like conflicted realities.
You're just fighting over that one spot. Or it could just be a massive glitch in one spot, and the programs might need to, make an update for that shit.
Yeah. Same.
Patch that up. But yeah, that's all I got for that shit. I thought it was interesting how these people went missing. I would never go there. Yeah, but that's it. They should have listened to the Native Americans, because they were saying from day one, The forces are fighting over here. You don't want to.
Yeah, anything the Native Americans say, like where they've been on that land for a long time, if they say this is sacred land, you don't fuck with sacred land, don't touch it. Don't be so fucking ignorant, so stupid. Like, nah, like this is business. You know, we have to drill through this land. Like, dude.
Yeah, Native Americans were saying that the only time we went there
Come on.
was to bury the dead. It's like, but other than that, we was in and out. We didn't because sometimes you might like, even though it's like in an area that's infected or an area that's affected by human existence. It could be one of the things of how we talked about before about how we as humans mistreat the planet. You go into these areas that's already like weakened the veil or whatever.
Yeah.
You reckon it. Like we said, the whole mining thing, they just turned to a mining area. Like, just digging and digging for minerals for what? Greed. It's all greed.
It's so crazy. Like, we advanced so far with technology, but still...
Mentally.
We don't even know how to take care of the earth.
Mentally. We're not ready for it.
It's so fucked up, man. And then I got to take a little break. But then when we get back, I'm going to jump into my story real quick. And I got pictures and everything. So you guys don't go nowhere. I got pictures of all this shit. Like,
hell yeah.
And we're back.
Let's go.
So speaking of stacks, right?
All right.
So I heard this thing where, like, if your soul, right, we're doing our life, and if we're not doing something correctly, there could be another soul that jumps into your body, like midway, and then take over. At any point in your life, right, did you ever wondered if you were operating differently? And if you started thinking different, or if you start doing stuff and you're like, hey, I could have sworn I could do this a whole lot better, but now I suck at it. Was there ever a point in your life where you thought like you change yourself?
On my own or by...
Yeah, like just on your own, where you're like, damn, I could have sworn I was like good at playing speed hockey or whatever it's saying.
Oh, and then you lost the skill to do it?
Yeah, like just that's just an example.
Yeah, I would say so. I used to be better at like playing football, and now I don't even want to play football now.
Weird, right?
Yeah,
I think I went through like the same shit, where I went through like a middle stage of my life where I just wasn't that good at stuff, like how I was before.
Yeah, just like lost.
And I was like, what the fuck happened? And then I was reading this book, and he was saying how souls, right? Like when souls, they get to clock out or whatever, or when they're done like using your body, another soul can take over and finish out that life path. So
one soul gets pulled out and then another one gets placed in.
And then you get placed in. Like, let's say, like, for example, you had like a near-death experience, and then you actually did die, but then the soul come back and continue your life, but you're not the same person. Mm-hmm. So like your family's like, man, ever since he had that car accident, he was never the same. He was never like the Chris Unholy. Now it's just Chris Holy.
Now he don't speak nobody.
Yeah, now all he's just talk about is just Jesus Christ the whole time. Back then he was like Ja Rule and Jay-Z.
Now he found Jesus.
Now his Jesus in Jerusalem. Yeah. Moving on.
Interesting.
All right, so my topic. So the world's oldest person dies at the age of 119 on April 19.
Oh, nice. 119 years old. Man, you've seen all manners of fuckery. You've seen all manners of...
She saw when the first plane was built. No, literally.
No, literally, like real shit.
Yeah.
Like
the Wright brothers.
Like 100 is cute, but 119, that's... Let's see, what year were you in?
Yeah.
So she was born...
She was born in 1903.
1903. I knew how to be early 1900s. Holy shit.
Yeah, she was born in the year where the Wright brothers, they first made the plane. So she saw everything. And she just passed away.
All manners of shit.
A few days ago. April 19th. Just 2 days before the Hadron Collider got lit up. But that has nothing to do with this. I just want to create more drama. But, she died April 19th, just a few days ago. And she saw everything from the beginning.
Oh, manners of
shit,
the
Wright brothers. She saw World War I, World War II, Civil War V, everything. She saw everything. She saw World War XII. She saw everything.
Jim Crow law, like it was like black folks and white folks didn't live in the same area.
Through like slavery. She saw everything, dude. and then she just died just a couple of days ago. But it's crazy how just within 100 years, all that shit happened, right? Even with like technology, how far it advanced in just 100 years.
Would you ever want to technology advancing within that 10-year time frame is bonkers to me.
Yeah.
119, that is... There wasn't even radios back then, I don't think. Not even...
No, they had radios, yeah.
They had radios back then, 1903? Like...
Yep. Is George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM? Yep. Yeah, they had... I'm sure they had like radio towers like back in 1903.
1903. I imagine it was just like...
She saw everything. She saw how they made books like old school, like where they had to do like the little printing press where they had like...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Page 1.
Oh, the machine broke down.
Get over here, Raphael, and he has to cut the pages.
That's it.
Yeah. She saw everything. Man. She saw every stage to where we're at to like an iPhone. To like our computer now. She saw everything.
1903, I would imagine that it was still like lamps, like gasoline lamps. Like, hey, you gotta walk around the house like late at night, like, oh, I gotta give me a late night snack. I gotta carry this lamp. We ain't got no light switches yet. At least that's how I imagine it would be back. That's like that's still the Wild West to me.
What race do you think she is? Like what country or what race?
Oh man!
If you were to think of somebody lived that old, who you think? Like what country do you think that can live that long? As far as like the lifestyle and what they eat.
It can't be America because America eats like shit.
It's not America.
So she's 119. Is female. I would say she's white. Oh. Wow. Is it from France? I don't know.
No.
Maybe she drank a lot of wine. That's what, like, you know. Because a lot of people that live, like, past 100 into, like, later years, they always seem to have these vices. Like, this one black guy that I saw one time, he lived to, like, 104. And he's like, oh, yeah, what's your secret? He's like, every morning... Is I don't know, but every morning I wake up, have a glass of whiskey, and I smoke a cigar, and I've been doing it every day for like 70 years or some shit. But it's like, I don't know. I was like, there's always some people that's doing like a vice or something that sometimes, not everybody, but some of the stories I've heard, I'm like, what the hell? I don't know. Like a white lady from France.
It doesn't matter like what you do. I think the key is just to be happy.
I think that's what it is too.
That's stress. The key. You can be happy. Like if your vice is like cigars and like whiskey, if that shit keeps you young, keeps you happy, hey, that's your thing.
You take time out of your day for self-help.
Yeah.
It's just an hour maybe. Just take an hour a day.
But the oldest person in the world that just died was Japanese.
That was my first fucking guess.
You should have said it, man.
I was feeling it, man.
You know, like the diet with Asian people is completely different from like Americans or people in Europe or stuff. It's more clean. Everything is clean. They don't just cook with oil the whole time.
I wasn't thinking specifically Japanese, but I was thinking Asian. I was thinking Asian because I was thinking based off like the food.
Even in China, like the rate of what people diet is like really old. Like 70, 80 years old. That would be like the average of what people die at. As opposed to like somebody lives in the States. You know, like our average age was like 60.
60, 70 something.
Yeah, we clock out 60s.
Women can get like to easily to 70, 80. Maybe like 60, 70.
I wouldn't say easily, like not in America.
Really? I think women can get along like further than men.
Yeah, women.
Like 85. But as far as men.
In America, you think like a lot of people's going in their 80s?
No,
they're clocking out way earlier.
Oh, man. We eating too many fucking Big Macs and...
Yeah, like the diet is what messes up us in America.
That's real shit.
But like a lot of people in Asia and Japan, if you like ever go out there, right, they have like a whole bunch of these... You know, when you take walks, they have these exercise and stuff. Like a lot of the people, like they know, like in the country, hey, you should get your daily exercise. Yeah, so they have like these random like exercising places where you guys can get your exercise, where you can work out, whatever.
Oh, this in Japan?
They're all doing like even Japan, China. You know, they do the Tai Chi like every morning and stuff. Their body is regulated the whole time, so the energy is flowing the whole time.
How can you get the body to work if the mind can't work? You gotta get the mind right first.
So like they know about the toe Tai Chi to do all that shit every morning. Make sure you like especially like with your wrist, because your wrist, it has like the flow of energy and stuff. So if you're moving like your wrist, you know, because how they do the Tai Chi, they move their wrist a lot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So it keeps like the flow of like blood and stuff.
Yeah,
so
keep them limber.
It keeps everything going, so you won't stay stiff.
That's always tell people, like, look, no matter what age you at right now, especially if you hit your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and going forward, if you don't even go to the gym and like going to the gym and lifting heavy weights, that's cool, fine, whatever. That's more for like if you want the look. I don't think that's really healthy sometimes. I'm no health expert, but I always felt like, but just walk. Anything.
Yeah, walk. Just stay moving.
Yeah. You can't sit still. If you sit still, your body's gonna break down. You gotta
like. If you have a job where you're just sitting in front of a computer,
that's me.
And then you go home and you're sitting in front of your TV.
Some more. You gotta break that shit up.
Like a body that's not in motion, that shit will break down. It'll break down a lot faster than a body that's constantly moving.
Yeah. That's why I go for walks. That's why I do walks all the time throughout the week. Even at my job where I'm at a computer for 12 hours, I will get up and start walking around, and I'll walk around and get at least like a mile and a half at work. As long as I get a mile at work, I'm fine. I can't sit there. I can't.
Yeah, I do like 4 miles maybe at work.
Oh, yeah. You move around way more than me. I'm a desk
jockey.
a
lot, and I don't even realize I move that much, but I travel.
You got some strong looking legs, I see.
Yeah, like my calves, like ever since I worked at this new job and shit.
Not that I'm checking you out. Just,
yeah.
I appreciate you.
I was like, hey, let's go river raft, and I want to show my calves. Yeah,
let's show these legs
be like
that
sometimes. Yeah.
Holy shit!
But yeah, this lady died, 119 years old.
Amazing. Shout out to
April
her.
19. You know, this
Asian.
woman, she was born
Japanese, right? Japanese.
Yep. She was born January 2nd, 1903. The year where the Wright brothers, where they first developed a motor on their plane. In 2019, she was listed in the Guinness World Book Record as being the oldest person living. She said, like, this, despite like her age, like she woke up every day at 6 a.m. and she studies like math all the time. And then like her favorite game is like Othello. You ever heard that game? It's like a Japanese game, but the Othello is like similar to like that game that the Chinese people play. It's called Go.
I think I might have heard of that. That sounds familiar.
Go is like one of the most biggest universal games ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard of that shit. Yeah. That sounds very familiar.
Like that board game is so like it's like chess times like a million, jillion. It's like chess, right? They have like how many moves you can make like in chess.
Oh, I've seen that board. That's
like,
just crazy. I don't know how to work that.
It's like the chess board. You can make like so many amount of moves, but the amount of moves you can make on a Go board is more than any stars in the galaxy, more than any sand grain.
Infinite.
Yeah. So they're saying like in the game Go. I watched a whole anime series about this shit. So
This is a series?
I got so deep into like Go, and then I tried to play it. It's so hard, dude. But like I got so deep into like the Go game, the board game, because I was like, why is all these countries playing this shit at so high level? And then I started watching like a documentary where they had like a machine, a Google machine, artificial intelligence, play against like the world's best Go player in the world. I think he was like either Korean or Chinese. I'm sorry if I missed the country. But they played with like artificial intelligence computer, and then everybody in the world that knows how Go is played, they're like, there's no computer that can beat the best person in Go, because like it all comes down to like a human intuition. Like if a computer can't think like on a human level, you cannot beat like a master human.
It's true.
Like that plays that game.
Intuition, that feeling that as powerful as machines could ever be compared to us, they don't have they miss like human traits.
They miss that human touch to where every Go player, professional player, even like the amateur players, they're like, no, these fucking computers can't beat this shit. This shit's trash. But they created a supercomputer by Google, right?
Of course.
Created a fucking supercomputer, and I was watching the whole documentary, like backstage and shit, where they're watching a computer play against the best player in the world. And then everybody's watching the professional player, his mind getting boggled, right? Where the computer made a move where nobody in the world would imagine somebody will make such a reckless move, but then that one move end up, like in the future, messing up the whole game for that professional player.
What?
But then they go back and look at that. Oh, they're like, oh, that's why that AI made that one move.
He knew.
It knew.
It knew.
That's when they're like, holy shit. They're like, what the fuck did you guys just make? It's something that can go beyond like human intuition. Like think like.
It's running through every single scenario.
It's going through like a feeling,
It's running through every single. Because I feel like intuition is like. It's like I don't think it's like what you feel. Obviously, it's what you feel. Where with.
Yeah.
The machine is like it's running through all the possibilities of every single angle of every single.
Dude, everybody that's like watching or listening, watch this documentary. It's called like Go. Just type in like GO and then documentary, and then watch that whole documentary. That shit is so deep.
What's it on?
It's on Netflix. I'm not on Netflix. I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. YouTube is like TV
just watch the Go documentary. It's so fucking good, dude.
Wait, I felt like. Did you send that to me?
One time, long time ago.
Oh my god, that's why I remember it a little. Yeah. Oh, that's.
Because I watched an accident. I had no idea a board game was gonna catch my attention.
That's what it was.
But I ended up watching like the whole documentary. Then I got so deep into it. I watched the whole anime series on it. I was like, damn, this shit is that deep.
It all just came back to me. Like I was like, where was it? I was like, YouTube. I was like, oh shit, I did watch that. Like that was a while ago. You sent that to me. I gotta watch it again. I gotta refresh my memory.
Yo, read the chat.
Intrigue 90s says, I've heard a lot of stories about people retiring and then passing away. A few years later. Waking up and having somewhere to go and keep your body moving is very important at an older age. It's why when people retire, they find something to fill that time, so the body is still being active and not going into a resting state. Yes, that's why like on Saturdays, if me and my dad have a scheduled time that every Saturday, like my dad goes swimming every Saturday.
Damn.
And he goes to the gym every day, and then
he goes swimming.
Yeah, swimming. He just started doing swimming. He's like, "Oh, this is like I'm sore as hell, but it feels good." But throughout, like, but like, and I'm starting to see the difference in his energy and whatnot. But like throughout the week, my dad goes to the gym, and Saturdays he go for a swim in the morning. And by the time I go on a Saturday, we go for a walk. So he's been swimming all morning, and then we go walk.
He's living it good, man.
And he's like, "This is a retirement thing." But we're trying to tell my mom, like, "Hey, like, mom, get up. You can't be sitting around here because." Now she's like getting up out of the chair. It's like, oh, my knees. Like, well, you gotta walk more. You gotta do something.
Yeah, you gotta keep the body moving because you gotta think like your body is like a vehicle. You gotta keep your joints working. You gotta keep it oiled up, right? You gotta know when throw an uppercut or whatever.
Check them brakes.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure your body is flowing because, like, dude, let's say you sit in front of a computer all day. You come home. You do the same shit, you sit in front of a computer. Yo, your joints stuck in the same position. Of course, that's just going to go bad.
Yeah, eventually.
Right? There's no auto part zone for that shit. Like eventually that shit's going to get really bad to where you're going to have to do some
knee surgery,
reconstruction shit. And then like, oh, have you played in like NFL? Like, no, I just haven't been doing nothing. So your joints get all fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's best to stay, like, keep your body active. Because we are just a soul occupying a body.
But do you want to be
like a vehicle?
But do you want to be a soul in this body where it hurts because you're not walking?
Yeah, take care of the vehicle.
Yeah. This is all you got right now, as far as we know. This is all we got. So that's why I tell people, like, look, even if you don't want to go to the gym or anything, at least walk. So walk around the neighborhood. Set up a schedule.
Yeah, like you don't even have to walk around your neighborhood. Walk around like in your house or whatever, in your apartment. Yeah. Just stay active because if you're not active, your body is what suffers
every time.
And then you suffer.
That's why you set up a routine too. Like Intrigue was saying it, because if you don't, because I heard like once you get older, you need to start setting up routines, which is why. Like I was saying before, with a guy who like lived to 104 or something, he's up a routine where he would drink every day and then smoke a cigar in the morning. But that's a routine that keeps your mind like you. Once you set up a schedule for yourself when you're older, it helps you with your memory because you're
that's like here's,
you gotta keep the mind going too.
Yeah, I got a picture of that lady, the Japanese lady.
Oh, let's get it. Let's see what she look like.
Pretty good, right?
Damn, let's get the hell out. I thought that was the one on the left straight. I was like, yo, that's not her. Okay.
Yeah, so she was born like she was born like 1903. So maybe like the picture on the left, she is maybe like in her early 20s.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Right, and the one on the right, she might be.
But you can tell it's her though. You can straight up tell it's her. Yeah.
She's pushing 212. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, like
119.
Yeah, she aged really well.
119. That shit looks good at 119. Was 119 right?
119.
That's amazing.
That might not be her 119 picture, but
for the sake of the conversation, we're
yeah, that's her at 119.
Let's get it. I'm going all in with this.
Pretty good, right? Crazy, right?
Looks good.
Japanese lifestyle.
Damn, the food, the mind. You gotta keep everything healthy.
Yeah. I think like the main thing is the mind.
It's gotta be the mind, man. You gotta, in order to stay here, you gotta stay
make
sane.
Sure like your mind is working. You know, like whatever. Like if you feel like like your mind is not working correctly. Like, you can do, like, simple things like crossword puzzles. Like, you know, to just test your mind, how fast you can do the crossword puzzles or whatever, figure stuff out. Always, like, I would say, like, exercise your brain. Every day. It doesn't matter what you do.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a lot of simple stuff.
Crossword puzzles or something. Keep that brain thinking.
Yeah, simple crossword puzzles and stuff. Like, keep your brain, like, working. Because that's going to be, like, the main thing that gives like the overall health of your body.
The engine.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
119. That's crazy, right?
That's amazing.
So like, you know, like after she died, you know, the title went to like somebody that's living in Europe.
So she passed away?
Somebody in Europe. Yeah. No, like the Japanese lady, she passed away, and then they gave the title to somebody like in Europe.
Oh, so I was right. So somebody French. Is it French? I was thinking somebody French.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of French. I was just...
Yeah, so the oldest living person now goes to our French nun, Lucielle.
I didn't even know this.
Lucielle Randon, who is now 118 years old.
There you go, girl. Shout out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, keeping it here.
Yep. So now, like, the oldest person now is in France.
Damn. I was close.
Yeah, you were.
Holy shit. I didn't know. I don't even know who the oldest person is or anything. I don't know anything about this stuff. The last person I heard was like an old black guy, like a long time ago.
Yeah, but like a lot of stuff is not documented, you know? Yeah. But I feel like a lot of the oldest people that lived here on Earth is in Asian countries.
Oh,
just
for sure.
Because of their diet.
It's not America. I can promise you that.
It's not because I'm trying to be biased. No. Because like the diet of like Asian people is completely different from a lot of people that live like in the Western world or even like in Europe and stuff. It's completely different. It's like it's less greasy. They don't cook with grease.
No, America is fast food. Like America's like the fast food capital of the planet. I would assume.
Yeah, the lifespan average 50,
60 diabetes over here. 50, 60 diabetes, all types of shit.
Yeah, that's why like when they have like kids and stuff, right? Like the kids come out already with defects.
Yeah.
They come out like with diabetes.
You can be born with diabetes? Huh? You be born with diabetes?
I mean,
chat, let us know. Help us. Help us.
But like, let's say like you're like a parent, right? You use like drugs the whole time. Let's say you're like dependent on like let's say like meth, right? So when your kid is born, your kid is deprived from meth, so your kid is actually
it's like a crack baby.
Yeah. So when the baby is born, it's like, oh, you have to give him a certain type of drug because they're so addicted to it, or the kid is gonna have like like certain reactions.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up? Same thing, like what I was thinking, like if you were a parent that indulge in like a lot of I'm choosing my words wisely, but
if you're a parent that's on drugs or you're a junkie or whatever, yeah, it does have an effect on the kid. It's going to.
Definitely.
In one way or another, it is. I mean,
humans be wild, man.
we do the most. We do too much.
But we're living like in a time period where a lot of this is being talked about, so we can always
have a conversation,
talk about it without being fucking crucified.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate.
So like, I think like we're living in the age of humanity where we can actually talk about stuff like this, where we can help people without not getting fucking bashed at the same time.
Nah, that's why for all the faults and purposes of the internet, I do like it as a tool of where it helps create a conversation, and one way or another, it does create a conversation, good or bad. So, but I don't know.
And Trick says, like saying that you are what you eat, so definitely would have an effect on the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah?
If you like to eat crack rocks, guess what? Crack baby.
Now the baby's gonna be like, where the crack? That's a simple way you can put it.
This is the best way you can put it. You gotta be careful what you put in your body.
I'm not trying to be funny, but that would
be this is real shit. No, be careful what you put in your body, especially when you preggo.
Yeah, especially drugs. Like, no.
I'm so glad I'm a dude.
Oh, why? See, you get strike.
That's a strike. Because carrying around a living because I have no issue with taking care of somebody, but I have to take care of somebody inside of me that exists in my body that has to grow. I can't do it.
Exactly.
I like drinking.
When you said, I'm glad I'm a dude, that's when you get strike.
So, no, everybody should be happy with who they are. I personally like, I'm glad I'm a dude, because it's pretty simple. I show up and do guy stuff, and then it's less responsibility, I guess. I don't know. I don't have to. I can do crack as much as I want. If I want to do crack, I can do crack as much as I want.
But then, like when you pass here in this life, right? Then you play the role as something you never wanted to play.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be a woman in my next lifetime. Watch.
Yeah, you'd be a woman, like in Libya or something.
I'm gonna have twins. Look, some kind of one twin. Oh my god.
You have like quads, right? But only two of them survive.
Oh my god.
But then you have an attachment to the other two, so your whole mental state is fucked
up.
Yeah, your shit is messed up from the beginning, you know, because you're already born in like a state where government's not gonna give you all that money. But you still have two kids you got to take care of. But two is already dead.
So you're just struggling.
So your mental brain is already fucked up. And like, fuck, where's daddy at? Daddy's gone. He's playing esports in Russia. You know?
He went to go buy cereal. He never came back.
Yeah.
He went to go get cigarettes.
He's in Russia doing esports.
Living his best life.
Level up.
Living his best life.
Imagine that, man. Being like a fucking like crack baby from somebody who was like a professional player.
Esports.
That's death.
Oh yeah. So what's the second story? We got a second story? Is it the only story?
No, I have more, but we already went over 2 hours.
Oh shit. What the hell?
I have a lot. I have like $1 million offered for a succession attempt to force the Shroud of Turin.
What? Is it just like small new stuff?
No, it's like something new.
Oh, hell no.
Like somebody is gonna pay somebody to fake, you know the Shroud of Jesus.
Yeah.
When he died, you ever seen the Shroud?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the face of Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody wants to pay somebody if they can fake it to do the same exact shit like on the Shroud. Because they're saying like at this time where the Shroud was, presented to the public, they're like nobody can replicate this. So now there's a dude that say, hey, can anybody replicate this? I'll give you $1 million.
Is this somebody step up?
Not yet.
Hey, it's still early.
So they're saying like, hey, can anybody replicate this? Because if nobody can replicate it, then this event actually happened. They're trying to prove that the Jesus did do the resurrection. Where his soul came out. Because I actually saw like a recent documentary, not recent but long time ago, where they tried to like debunk the whole resurrection of Jesus Christ. They couldn't debunk it.
Zombie Jesus, I think that's what I called him.
No,
Zombie Jesus. That's what I heard he was referred to. But I mean, he came back. But
they couldn't debunk it. Here's my thing: the whole shit happened. Jesus was real. The whole resurrection, that shit was real. hard to believe, but when you die, you guys will know the answer. If you guys can't wait for you to die, take a mushroom trip. Let's find out.
Skip to the front of the line. If you want to skip to the front of the line,
yeah, that's all it is. Like, I can't say nothing else.
That's the best way to put it.
Hey, if you guys want to know, like, you guys gotta die, or you guys want to know why you're alive, take a wild trip.
Shrooms will have you like, man, this world is disgusting. Yeah. You will come back, you be like, why is everything so brown?
Like, not just like a mushroom trip, like, but if you guys want like a real trip, you know, take like ayahuasca. Or take like the magic toad,
the edge of the universe. I don't know if I can do all that, man. That might be too. I will need a guide. We will need a guide.
Yeah, for sure.
We will need a guide for that.
I'm scared of that. They're like looking at me right now because I know my spirits are watching me right now.
He doesn't know yet, but he's ready. That's what he's saying. Like, he doesn't know. He just has to believe.
Yeah, that motherfucker's scared. He don't want to try this shit.
But he just doesn't know he's ready yet. We have to figure out. We have to figure out a way to convince him that he's ready.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, man.
Yo, you're ready?
Man, look, let's go.
All right.
Let's do it. Gotta do it sometime. I don't think I'm ever going to be ready for it, so let's just do it.
Like ayahuasca?
My brain, I don't think I would ever be ready to do it. But like, I'll get there, I'm like, man, I'm not ready for this, but I don't think, honestly, I don't think you're ready until you do it. It's like...
Okay.
You're never ready.
I got something for you. Like, since you say, like, you're ready for that, I'm not challenging you or whatever. But I want to... No, I don't want to prove nothing. But I want to ease you into this, you know, because I know the ayahuasca trip is a level, like, beyond, like, what I even know. But I know, like, a level that I already know. So I want you to take, like an acid trip, LSD trip, to where you already know, like, it can get on this level.
It can get
bad.
But
just know, like, when you get on this level, right, just know that the ayahuasca trip is a level beyond that level. So I would rather have you try this LSD acid trip first, and then you decide if you want to go to the next level.
Do I want... you took this ride.
Yeah, because you don't know yet. I swear to God, you don't know yet.
I probably won't.
Yeah, you don't even know yet.
The only thing I try to do when I'm under influence, my brain is constantly trying to be like, get control of this shit, Chris.
Yeah.
When I feel like it's getting out of control, I'm like,
yeah.
Pull it in.
Look, you won't even know. You won't even know the control. Like, here's the crazy thing about, like, this whole trip, right? You know, like, I was the guinea pig. I said, I'm going to do this first before I let Chris try it, because I did want you to try it. But when I first actually did the acid trip...
Oh, hell no.
It was so fucking crazy, right? When I got out of the acid trip, I said to myself, nah, Chris did not want none of this shit. It's too much.
He's not ready.
Yeah, that's why I never even told you, hey, you got to do this. Because it was that fucking crazy. But if you're at, like, the stage where you want to try that, to me, this came out of nowhere, you know? But I was so curious. The universe, like, hey, you want it. It's like, hey, you're that curious? You want to see? They showed me, and I was like, holy shit. I was blasted off, like, I was like, this is so strong. It's so much, so strong. Like, everything, it fucking destroys your whole ego. It looks like you're shit. Like, you want to see the real shit, you know?
You're never going to be shit.
They broke down your whole... Yeah, it breaks down your whole character. And I woke up the next day for a long time, like, where you just wanted to help people the whole time.
I got a little bit of that with shrooms when I first got out of it. I was like, what am I doing with my life? What is happening right here? Why am I hanging out with this person? I was tripping. I was like, I need to make some course corrections.
Yeah, you're about there. Yeah.
So I need to make some course corrections. And then, like, 20 minutes later, went away. I'm like, okay, I'm back to normal. But it was nothing, like, everlasting. Like, it didn't stick, but I felt it for a second.
My shit is stuck.
See? And I was about to say, your shit stuck to the wall.
Yeah, because it was so real. Yeah, it's stuck.
I can't walk away from this even if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I wouldn't say take an ayahuasca trip. I will put you on, like, a real acid trip first, and then you'll tell me, like, if you're ready, because you'll see, like, the real shit, and you're gonna be like, holy fuck.
I'm like, bro, I came back and made some friends. You're like, what? No, I'm probably gonna try. I know, like, I know part of me when it gets intense, a part of me is gonna try to like fight for control. I know, but I know that's how my brain thinks. But I know I'm not gonna win. I'm like, just
cancel everything like your brain thinks and feel.
Just go.
It's just your whole body's gonna be like, this is it. Like this is the real shit. It's just so hard to explain it unless you go through it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, the reason why I imagine because as far as we've been doing this podcast and a lot of things I think about and stuff that I read about, I'm at a point right now that reality is more than just like the four walls around you and the floor and the ceiling. It's like it's nothing physical. It's. I don't think we're ever gonna. I don't think humans are never gonna really understand the universe or anything. I don't think.
Yeah.
Unless we leave it or leave this.
Yeah, it's man. My subconscious is like, I can't wait to break your whole reality, dude.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I cannot wait to break your whole reality. Not me, but I'll take you to the door. You know.
And I'll be like waving at me when I go off, like, "Hey, I'll be here when you get back."
Peace out, like this. Peace out, and then you're like, "Oh shit."
Door closes.
Like, whoa. They grab your hand so fucking fast, dude.
No.
Whoop, and then they take you onto your journey.
Oh, please.
Patrick says, I always want to try ayahuasca just to be supervised by someone that isn't on it. Yeah, ayahuasca is definitely a different level. It's like a level where it has to be a lot of people that's really experienced with all that, so they know how to take care of you.
Yeah.
Because as long as you know that somebody's taking care of you while you're tripping, you have a good trip. Because if you take mushrooms, right? Let's say like by yourself, nobody's taking care of you.
No. You gotta save yourself.
Yeah, this is when it's scary. This is when you're like, holy shit, you don't know what to expect. So, on the inside, your whole body is like, all right, I don't understand what's going on. But you have that fear of not knowing what's going on, but no one's going to protect you at the same time. Mm-hmm. So you get that fear of not actually doing like a real trip. But if you're doing like a trip, right? And somebody's there with you, they understand the whole process. They're with you the whole time, guiding you, maybe holding your hand or whatever. As long as you're having like a good trip, you're comfortable, the person is comfortable, like, they're in trip mode, you'll have a good trip for sure. As long as there's somebody responsible, on the outside to where, because like a lot of people that trip out for the first time, they don't understand the whole situation.
Man, I don't know.
They don't know if they're gonna freak out or whatever. Like for me, like the best way I can explain, like for a first time person that trips on mushroom for the first time, like there's always an escape route. Like if you want to escape, right? All you have to do is open your eyes
straight up, and then the
boom,
ride ends.
You're back. Yeah, the roller coaster's over.
It's literally that simple.
Yeah, that's like the good thing about shrooms. You can actually control that shit. Because like you can be on shrooms, right? All you have to do is close your eyes, listen to classical music.
Just go.
The movie plays like instantly. And you're seeing like what they want to show you, what you want to learn about, what you want to know about your past life. They'll show you everything.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah. But when it gets too scary to where you're like, I can't take this no more. All I see is death. All I see is like sharp teeth trying to bite me.
Yeah, man. I saw that when I first got into it. I was like, what is all these tentacles and some creature with like, it looked like an HP like Lovecraft monster, but just like tentacles and like a mouth that was round, but teeth was all in it. It was like all around me. I was like, I was like, I gotta get through this.
Yeah, if it gets like too scary to where you get uncomfortable, all you gotta do is just open your eyes.
And they'll stop it.
Yeah.
There was one time on one trip, like the trip I was on, I opened my eyes. I was like, I gotta pee. Went to the bathroom, and when I got back, I was like, hope I can continue this trip. As soon as I closed my eyes, boom, I was right back in it.
Yes.
I was right back in. I was like, yes. Was like,
that's real.
Let's go. Flying.
That's like the same shit like with me. Like, like in the middle of the trip, I have to take a leak, right?
Yeah.
This track is still playing. I'm seeing this beautiful scene like out in the snow and shit. I was like, damn, I gotta go pee. And I was like, I hope I can jump back in the trip.
Right when I left off.
I went to go pee. I looked at the walls. Man, when I look at the walls,
The walls are kind of like it's like the paint's like sliding. I saw that one time. I was like,
yeah. It's like I see the walls, and then I see all the dirt on the walls.
You notice it,
but the dirt is on another layer.
Yes, it's like you notice it. It's like the dirt. You see like dirt, and you like trying to look behind it. It's like
you see the dirt layer, you see the wall, and then you see like the paint on the walls. Like you see like three different layers.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! I was like, man, let me just pee and go back in my trip and shit.
You know what? Let me hurry up and get out of here. I'm about to trip.
So I go back, and then I was like, I hope I can go back in a trip, jump back in trip.
Boom! You right in it again.
I'm back in the movie.
The exact spot where you paused it at is amazing.
It's
good, man.
Man, people are sleeping on these shrooms, man. They think it's just some melting brain shit, but it's like it helps a lot, dude, because it shows you like what I saw a lot, where I was really frustrated on was like how humanity was treating the ocean life, how they were disrespecting the ocean, how they were polluting the ocean. On top of that, disrespecting all these animals by killing them just for like their fins and shit, like for their sharks and stuff. I saw all that, and I felt the crazy thing is you felt the whole pain of the ocean. And I felt the whole pain of the whole ocean. And, dude, my heart was so heavy. I couldn't even breathe. I was so fucking disgusted at that time when I was taking a mushroom trip.
Damn, everybody's
and
suffering.
I felt the whole I felt the whole ocean suffering. And I saw what humans did to it. And I was like, okay, a mushroom trip showed me stuff like this. Like, wouldn't you think, like, this is real?
Yeah, if I was seeing this whole damn story.
Like, why would they show me like a random like ocean scene with all these whales dying from from man? I saw the whole ocean being polluted.
They're telling you
by oil and all these chemicals that we put in the ocean, and I felt everything like from the beginning, from like how Japanese like they treat like the ocean from back then, but now how Japanese treat the ocean now. They disrespect the ocean so much because why? Because of money.
Yeah, there's like a South Park did episode about with the whole dolphin shit. Remember that shit?
Yeah, not just dolphins, but with like the salmon, or the tuna.
Oh, the tuna,
the bluefish tuna and stuff. How they treat animals, because it all became everything is about money now. So they disrespect the ocean, and then I took a trip where I felt everything. Dude, I probably could have had a heart attack that day and shit and would have died because
too many emotions.
I felt all that pain and shit. And it was so crazy. And people would never even think you take a mushroom trip and then you feel like the feelings of the ocean, how the ocean really feels about humanity.
Empathy, man.
Right? When you
empathy on what you feel what's happening to the ocean, and resentment on how the ocean feels towards probably us. Like, man, we trusted you people, man.
They're so sad, man. They're like, man, like we're here on Earth just like you guys, man. Just because like we don't speak your language, like our comprehension, like with intelligence, like with the dolphins and the orcas, all the whales and stuff, same thing like with humans, but they're like intelligently, they're way more advanced than us. This is what I found out. They're way more advanced than us. They can speak with other animals that can speak to, through telepathy. We're not at that stage where our brain hasn't reached that stage to where we can actually speak to each other without actually speaking to each other.
No, I think on a mental level, we've closed ourselves off. So if ever trying to discover that type of route, because we rely on shit we build, but we rely on the shit that we build more than what we are capable of doing as a
because we forget naturally how to calm our brains down. That's why like there's a lot of stuff about like meditation and stuff, how to calm your mind and how like to actually get in touch with your higher self. It's through like meditation, calming the brain down, because I heard like this one metaphor which makes a whole bunch of sense, right? Just think of your brain like as a pawn, right? And if you're always looking at like a whole bunch of stuff to entertain your brain, like think about that pawn as a whole bunch of stones being thrown in that pawn. So it's creating all these ripples, right? Yeah. So let's say with meditation, you're able to calm that pawn down to where there's not a whole lot of stones that's thrown in that pawn, but the right stone that's thrown in the pond, where it's trying to give you that signal for like, you know, like a better life, or like a sign of to do better things.
That one's the,
but then you'll hear that little stone that went into the pond. Because if there's like a pond, right, where a whole bunch of stones is being thrown, and then like the main stone that's trying to get your attention, you won't hear it because
a lot of noise.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of ripples in your pond.
You gotta focus on that one rock.
Yeah, so think about meditation as like you're trying to calm the pond in your head.
Gotta dig through the noise. And
you're trying to smooth that pond out, and then you can hear like the real signs that you need to hear, like when they drop that boop, that little stone, and like boom, okay, that's what I gotta do.
That's what I gotta focus on. Focus on that.
Focus on that.
Ignore all the other stones hitting the water.
Yeah, ignore all that drama,
the noise,
that gossip on, you know, Kim Kardashian.
Cut through that shit. And Pete Davidson, cut through all that shit. Like
Johnny Depp.
All that shit.
Cut through all that. Clear the pond out, like when you do meditation. And then just let the right stone hit it. And then you'll hear.
Then focus on that noise.
Then you'll
ping it.
You go, you're surely go through like your life path, but then you'll understand what you're supposed to do in this life. Could be anything, because your soul is the one that picks what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. But don't be distracted by so much stuff that's trying to stop you from taking your whole life plan.
Yeah, stop you from being you, from your growth.
Yeah, don't be the Adolf Hitler.
Please, God, please don't.
He said like one big example. Like, don't do that.
So we're at 2:38.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
Yeah,
but I hope you guys learned something.
Yeah. As always, we try to teach people. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We just talk. We just be here talking. If y'all learn something, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you take something with you, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, because there's gonna be like a lot of stuff that I talk about to where you're not gonna hear it unless you read like the type of books that I come across.
That's why you here.
But a lot of stuff that I come across is just stuff that normal people don't come across. That's why like this podcast might be good for stuff that you guys will never even hear about.
Especially like something like this, and then maybe you might get some people interested in checking this shit out. At least especially with the books, the 4 books you read. Like
like with the books I read, like I went into this this forum like on Reddit where you know, this guy that I followed, the 434, where he talked to like machine elves, which is like the people that he speaks to when he takes like a DMT trip. And I followed him for like years now and stuff. And I told him to look up this dude, you know, Garnett Schulhauser. I say, look up this guy and then listen to a story. And then I told him, tell me what you think about this stuff.
Did he respond?
Yeah, he says I never heard of him, but I'll look into it.
There you go, man. Spread the word.
Yeah, and I know he'll look into it. He already has a big audience. So like whatever he gets out of that, I already know, like, because I feel like me and him is like the same page. Yeah, like we're always curious. When I mentioned like a person that I heard on a random podcast, I told him about it. He's like, yeah, I heard that same podcast. Nice. So I was like, okay, you're on the same page as me.
See, that's what I'm saying. The internet, for all its evil purposes, it's a good tool. If you use it right, it's a really good tool. Yeah. The connections.
And then like this guy that I heard randomly on like Coast to Coast, I heard his story. I was like, holy shit, let me just listen to his books. And that shit blew my mind. And then I'm like, man, more people need to hear about this. So then that's when I contacted dude 434 and shit. I told him, hey, check this dude out, because he has a big audience. And I know like if he checked this stuff out, if it, you know, vibrates with him,
spread the word, man.
It's gonna spread that word more. So the dude that was spreading it on the radio, you know, because I know like the album cover or the book cover, no one's gonna buy that book. It's so, they did it wrong. The marketing is.
That's the one we looked at last week, right?
Yeah, like Dancing on a Stamp, like.
Oh yeah, they ain't
the way like they did the marketing. I know like somebody had the hand to where to like, nah, we're gonna make your cover to where nobody wants to buy that shit. Yeah, it's like, but like the book is so crazy. The cover looks so innocent, but the story behind the whole book is so deep. But yeah, we gotta end this podcast.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
But yeah,
thank you guys for showing up tonight.
Thank you everybody for joining us.
This is another good one. I like this one. This is good.
Yeah, so we're joining everybody next week. Peace out. Adios on Tuesday.
See you guys.
Adios.